Ah! Give it up for Basset. Sorry about that. That is an embarrassing set of circumstances here. It's spawning in the top left-hand corner of Simulacrum. Our red Terran player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Vindicta. Oh, I apologize deeply, folks. I was hoping that we had gotten everything all set and taken care of, but you know, we just can't seem to dodge some technical difficulties every so often. So thank you so much for letting me know in the chat. I hope you guys are having a good day. My name is Rushy, by the way. If you have not ever met me, I promise I know how to use technology just a little bit better than that, but we'll get better as the cast goes along. So we are starting here on a Simulacrum. Our nice ZVT setup here. This is listed as north, but that's actually going to be the player Basset. I'll refer to him as such throughout the remainder of the series. But we do have a nice little setup for you. 2 best of 5 leading into a best of 7 finals to determine today's winners. But my understanding is that all of our players are going to go home with a little something today to make this all worth their while. We're so grateful to all of these players taking time to participate in our event. So we are going to get wound up here in game number 1 of this best of 5. Terran player opting to start with a pretty standard 1-1 opening here, since the Reaper out across the map does just a little bit of work here. You'll have to forgive me. I'm going to try and get my audio settings taken care of in between this game and the next, so if things are just a little bit out of sorts, I apologize in advance. I will get that worked out here for you as we move through the remainder of this event. Zerg player is not doing anything too terribly crazy on his side of the map. Opening up with a standard 2 base is getting kind of blocked out here by the SCV posting up at the 3rd base location, but Zerglings and Queen are going to be able to take care of that. But no drone, so there goes the drone. Reaper's going to try and get a little bit of harassment done to try and block that from going down, but I believe this is going to be allowed to place without issue. So I do like the vision of the Zerg player here on the outskirts of Vindicta's base. A couple of Hellions do move out to join the Reaper, and now a little bit of the real harassment will begin, trying to shut down creep tumors and prevent the spread of Basset moving to the northern side of his base compound. It is going to be Banshees with Cloak on the menu, but Silverlord is going to have a chance to spot it. So we'll have to see if this is going to be something that's allowed to complete while these 2 Hellions and Reaper come forward with reinforcements there. It is going to be a fake out here by Vindicta. Vindicta's going to cancel the Cloak on that Banshee. I believe the Banshee is going to be allowed to complete and get finished, but it is going to force Basset into a little bit extra defensively, putting down 2 Spore Crawlers in each mineral line and going into Banelings. So Banelings are probably the tech of choice to begin with, so that's not going to be too out of the realm of expectation here for Basset, as 3rd base it does get set up, and actually already dropping a Spore Crawler in the 3rd base as well, not taking any chances. 4 Hellions are going to come up on the north side and just kind of fire away at various surroundings that they can get their eyes on. But Vindicta's already started that shift out of Banshees into something a little more biostructured. Getting that 3rd command center built in the main base, as well as coming up with a couple of tanks and some stim-timed Marines. Now, it is going to be a little bit of time before we see medevacs coming out here, and it should be just in a moment that we should see those coming out. The lair is already getting finished up for Basset. Really nice surround on these Hellions by the Zerglings, which is going to force Basset to be a little more aggressive on Vindicta's side of the map. That tank is going to be able to shut down that aggression, so that's not going to be a main issue. But what will become an issue for Basset is this Banshee that is trying to stop creep if at all possible. Fourth base going down for Basset, as well as he feels really confident to be able to spread out on the map. And at the 6-minute mark, having a fourth base already on location is an outstanding show of confidence. Banshee's going to use the scan to try and clear up just a little bit of this creep. Zerglings are going to post out on the top of the wall here, and actually is going to use this opportunity. The wall is down. Those Zerglings are going to be able to sneak on in. Marines are a little bit out of position here. One of those tanks does get pulled down, but I believe the other tank is going to be able to survive, but that creates a nice timing window here for Basset. He knows that the pressure is coming, and one tank less for Vindicta is going to make a huge impact on his push potential. Banshee's going to check and make sure that there's nothing sitting here waiting at the third base, but all of Bassett's forces are on the northeast side of the third base. Is going to try and dash in here and get some of these SCVs picked off, but the SCVs are going to be protected by these Hellions here. Just 2, but 2 is all that he needs. Zerglings are going to give chase to more Zerglings, and Banelings are already done. We're 12 seconds away from Speed Banes, but that might just be enough for Vindicta to get set up here. Oh, those Lings I think could have committed onto those tanks, and I think would have been just fine, but he doesn't want to engage early off of creep, especially when he has those Speed Banes. This is going to allow the tanks to get posted up on the top of that ledge, so siege tanks are going to be able to have some very strong firepower at the top of this creep. Marines are going to continue to push this creep back ever so slightly, moving things further and further backwards for Basset. 1-1 is now completed, and Vindicta is going to move into drilling claws. So we're going to see a tech switch into Widow Mines. I don't hate that. I think Marine tank mine meta is still pretty good. Some really good infusions, and here comes the major chunk of the army. Tanks are going to do their best to try and get those Banelings out of the mix, but too many Zerglings and some nice splits and surrounds are going to make that task near impossible. Big stem on the army is going to help push away these Zerglings as the Banelings come rolling in, going to try and connect with as much as they possibly can. A couple of Banelings do manage to sneak into a mineral line where most of the SCVs are damaged. A couple more Banelings are going to be able to get in there and connect. 11 SCVs do go down, but oh my gosh, look at all those SCVs that are just so weak and damaged. This medevac is going to get some counter damage in here as well, forcing Basset to retake that fifth base location. But now we are just seeing Basset continually rally more and more units. A hive is on the way. That little hit squad on the south side trying to deal some distraction damage in the main base, while the real damage is up here at the fourth base location. 3 workers do go down, but now that he knows that the bulk of the army is pulled up to the top side, he's going to get some more damage done here. 8 workers go down in total, and Vindicta is just kind of all over the map right now, trying to split and attack at as many different places as possible, using that mobility to his advantage. All the queens are pulled up here and posted up on the top side, going to cause Vindicta. Oh gosh, he just needs to take that out. But the bulk of the army is up here at the fourth base location, and I believe this base is not going to be able to be saved. It is going to be forced into a big engagement here, and that base is going to fall. Basset is able to clean up the drop in the main, but Vindicta continuing to push on the northern side here. Big scan reveals a large chunk of the creep tumors here, and Vindicta is going to force Basset into a big engagement here. He can't afford to lose the third base location. The fourth base has been somewhat transferred, but I don't know that this is what he is in fact looking for. Trying to get some counter pressure in with these banelings. A couple of banelings do split off to try and engage the army, while the rest go and find SCVs, and some quick micro by Vindicta limit the amount of damage here. 12 workers do go down between the third and the fourth base location, but Vindicta is slowly continuing his push up into the third base of Basset. Basset struggling to be able to deal the counter damage needed in this case. I mean, Basset is up in workers, 62 to 56, but he pales in that army comparison, especially when most of his army is in just 2-2 lanes. But he's going to try and continue to counter harass. A scan goes down at the sixth base location to make sure that he is in fact not moving beyond that. Some Ultralists are going to be able to help out here and cause a little bit of chaos, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. Vindicta is continuing to expand his army lead exponentially here. 5 more workers do go down as a result, and oh no. A couple of Widow Mines here. Oh, unfortunately connects it with the worker line there. 9 more workers goes down. Vindicta reclaims that army lead, picking up 3-3 on his bio forces, while Basset is continuing to make those Ultralists just a little bit stronger. He's going to push in here to the third base again, sensing that time is of the essence. He is going to need to get some major work done here, and his major work was just a supply depot at the front, which is fine. But I don't know if it's everything that he needs. More Marines attacking on the front side here. Some Banelings make some good connections, and it's going to force that aggression away. But Vindicta's doing a great job of hitting at every possible angle here. Now taking both of his fully loaded medevacs up into the main. Try and pick off another Queen, pick off a few more units here and there. That one Marine did get sacrificed to the Zerg overlords. And we're just finding ourselves with a little bit of push and shove here. Basset trying desperately to claim that 6th base location, really struggling with the economic downsides of lacking so many of those bases. Big army here coming up on the 6th base location is going to shut this down, and I think this is going to be the push that Basset has to win if he wants to stay in this game. The Marauder count is incredibly high. That's going to be really strong against those Ultralists that have such high armor. The Zerglings I thought were going to try and wrap around the backside of the army, but Basset just decides to use this opportunity to deal some economic damage of his own. These 4 Marines are going to be able to take out the base there on the north side, and the 4th base has already gone down. I feel like Vindicta is winning out on the engagement here, dealing more and more damage. However, 17 workers have gone down for Vindicta, but I just don't know if Basset can deal with the army of Vindicta right now, sitting with 141 supply to 72. No, and he absolutely cannot engage the army, at least not in this capacity. The Widow Mines are going to clear up all of the Zerglings, and the Marauders, which are already at 3-3, will easily tear through the Ultralists. Liberators help with the siege, and Basset is trying once again just to not engage this army head on, and instead runs it up to the north side of the map and tries to get as much damage done as possible, but it does pull Vindicta back home. Vindicta doesn't want to engage into his base prior to taking out these Ultralisks, but I feel like Vindicta has everything that he needs. Zergling run by, forcing that up and off. Get to scan off on the 4th base location. These tanks continuing to do work, as well as the Liberators. All right, Liberators are going to take out an Ultralisk. That's a huge cost right now. Basset continuing to try and engage the main army with Zerglings and just not getting anywhere against Vindicta's 3-3 bio army. And Basset's just running out of resources here. He's starved for minerals. He's got the 4th base up, so he might be able to make a last-minute ditch effort. But I mean, look at the supply here. Vindicta already maxed out. North, Basset just trying to desperately stay in triple-digit supply. I just don't think that Basset's going to be able to hang on here. Vindicta's army moving up to the top right-hand corner, and this is going to have to be the stand to hold it all. Some really nice Banelink connections on Vindicta's army, but yeah, he's got to tap out. He just doesn't have anything more. GG is called. And we are gonna get that audio sorted out here really, really fast. Thank you so much for being so patient. That way you can hear all of the great situations I have going on. Okay. Oh, and we are gonna have to move. We are gonna need to move over to, I believe it is Europe. We'll go ahead and get that set up here as we start moving into game number 2. Well, look at that. Gonna be going to Everdream. No, I don't need that. Oh, we're gonna be going to Everdream here. I need Blizzard mods. Beautiful. All right. Oh, trying to do it all yourself makes it very, very challenging. So we are getting into game number 2 here. This is a best of 5, so the next 2 games are guaranteed here. So we will get a 3rd game if for some reason Basset, or a 4th game if for some reason Basset is able to win one of these games coming up. But if he does, he's gonna have to put in some work here. But here we are spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream. This is our blue Zerg playing for Team 3D. Give it up for Basset. And spawning in the bottom left, playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Vindicta. So both players opting to go into just a real standard game once again. Nothing too incredibly crazy one way or the other. I'm also interested in how our audio set is going. So if you can give me some feedback, I'd really appreciate that. Hopefully I have the music lowest then game sounds, and then my voice. So let me know in the chat. Thank you so much for helping out. I appreciate you guys helping by being here as well. Share this link with your friends. Get all of your friends over here for yet another great StarCraft 2 series here. SCV is going to move across the map and do some initial scouting. Isn't going to see a whole lot that is going to surprise him. Reaper's going to be able to go over and do a fair amount of damage if it has the opportunity. So we'll just have to see what Vindicta has in store here. Basset opening up into a pretty standard setup here. Reaper is going to come in, do just a little bit of harassment damage. Marine's going to try and get the Overlord, but the Overlord's going to find that high ground before it has a chance to do anything otherwise. Which, once again, isn't too incredibly worrisome. Reaper's already got one kill, and it's going to get a second one here. Is it going to be able to clear up the Creep Tumor? Ooh. That Creep Tumor had 2 health. Incredibly annoying Reaper here. Great harassment by Vindicta to keep pressure on. But here comes another SCV. Oh, that's got to be a misrally. That's what I'm going to say. 2 SCVs out across the map. Something silly's about to happen. Third base is going to be able to finally go down for Basset, so speed clearing up here is going to be able to free those Zerglings up to do other things. But for the most part, it's going to be trying to get some of that valuable information. There's going to be stim pack research coming once again. And a Liberator coming out of Vindicta. So Vindicta's going to try and be just a little bit more aggressive moving across the map again. Hellions and Reaper doing what they can to hold back the creep spread. Queens already have some really good creep spread in amongst the second and third base, and actually moving down into that fourth base location as well. Everdream is a very strong map for Zerg. That creep spread is a little bit easier to do, especially with this high ground perched, where it's a bigger commitment for those Hellions to dash on in. Already moving up into lair as well, so getting that early lair, dropping that Baneling nest, really getting himself set up for that stim pack timing. Reactor is going down on the starport. I think we might see a more committed effort here by Vindicta, and he's actually going to jump in here just a little bit early with all of these Hellions. He's got 8 Hellions jumping on in. These are going to be very, very deadly if they're allowed to get all the way in. A really nice surround on the bottom of that ramp to deal some damage, but those Hellions are able to get in scot-free. And here they come. Oh, the drones are starting to line up. 8 drones do manage to go down. Oh, they're getting blocked by the Queens. Oh, no. Oh, no, Basset. Oh, Basset. 14 workers end up going down because of the block by his very own Queens. No. Oh, I know I'm supposed to be excited for the Alpha X player, but oh, sad day in Zergtown. Zerglings are going to try and jump in here, and oh, they actually find an open wall. Vindicta left the door open here, so Zerglings are going to try and get as much counter damage done as possible, and this isn't going to be bad. Bit of damage. 9 workers ends up going down. Probably going to get a 10th. Oh, nope. Oh, maybe. Nope. 9 workers. It's still a pretty good counter to the large amount of workers killed on Basset's side of the map. So still hasn't put down a second, third, fourth gas. He's actually opting to put those gases out at the third base. So Basset still operating on very, very low gas count. Fourth base also coming out on a very forward aggressive location for Basset, as the third base is being floated over for Vindicta. Both players actually kind of even out right now. 49 workers apiece, 29 army supply apiece. Both players getting some rather lethal damage taken care of. Bane speed finishing up here for Basset as a circling run by happens over at the third base. It's already going to be Widow Mines for Vindicta. It worked so well for him in game number 1. He's going to try and give that left in game number 2. Little hit squad of Marines is going to be able to clean up a little bit of the creep and pick off one of the creep queens. A couple of scans well worth his time. Be able to force the creep back just a little bit, and then another drop is going to come up on the north side as well. We've seen infestation pit going down for Basset. It's going to mostly be a transition into hive tech. Don't know if we're going to see infestors in this particular game. Liberator's gonna get a little bit of work done here. Ooh! Some Banelings making some really juicy connections there. Actually doing a really nice job of pushing Vindicta back just a little bit. Doesn't lose a whole lot here. Oh, and that's a very, very aggressive Liberator. Liberator is a little out of place. We are gonna see infestors. Unbelievable. Going into the infestor upgrade, I believe. Oh gosh, I don't even think I know what that's called. What that upgrade is called, and I play Zerg. Help me out. Let me know what that is. I think that might be. Shoot, can't even think of it. We are going into Hellions though, or not Hellions, but Hive Tech. Hive Tech. I've mind flooded myself. Unbelievable. Drilling Claws going down for Vindicta. Gonna make those Widow Mines just a little bit stronger than they already are. Nice drop's gonna come in here on the top side of the map as well. Just continuing to be, oh, pathogen glands. There we go. Thank you, game, for helping me out. Pathogen glands is now complete. It's going to decrease the power of these drops just a little bit, but here we are. Infestors are spotted here off on the map, and those mines are left wanting for just a little bit more. Adrenal glands being researched as well as ultras. I find it interesting that Basset is committing into ultras as well. Didn't work out so well in game number 1, but wants to give him another try in map number 2 here. Fifth base going down for Basset on the lower side of the map, so he is getting that one base lead as Vindicta is now floating his out to the fourth base location. Spore crawlers are going to be able to reveal these mines, and that should eliminate the drastic damage. Another queen does get picked off as a drop comes down on the front side to clean off some more creep as well. These mines are now fully exposed, so those should be effectively taken care of. And Vindicta is just going to continue to utilize the mobility of his army, just bouncing around the map. I cannot believe that Basset has not gone after these yet. Okay, he's slow burning it. It's gonna get there eventually. But Vindicta back at home, just really kind of anchoring down his position, building a fifth base on site. It's gonna possibly just keep that as a planetary or just float that over as he can. But just continuing to get more and more of that mech. Tanks on the menu, Liberators on the menu. All of this is going to be really strong against this heavy Ling ultra pressure that Basset is continuing to commit into. I think if Basset wants to remain relevant in this game, he is going to have to make a transition into air technology, and that's exactly what he's getting out of moving into his spore, or his spire, excuse me. A couple of drops happening at different portions of the map. I think the scary drop is going to be up in the main, but Basset is already all over it. Widow Mines are hanging out in the center there. He is able to clear up the large majority of the drop in the main. That Liberator is not going to be long for the world, and neither is this medevac full of Widow Mines. Although the Widow Mines are going to be able to drop, they do get picked off rather quickly. Fifth base being floated over here as Vindicta continues to siege up, and he's just being incredibly difficult to break here. Although that is a lot of Ultra. More mines dealing more and more damage. The Ultras only have 2-2. No chitinous plating at this point, and I don't believe chitinous plating is on the way either. +3 armor is in the menu, but... Oh wait, no, that is chitinous plating. So, we'll see 2-4 Ultras at some point. Yeah, pathogen glands is a tough one. It usually doesn't get researched that often. 2 Nidus networks going down in the base of Basset. I love it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Here come the nukes. Nukes are going to be difficult to contest with here as Vindicta has started his ghost production and nuke production. We're going to have to bounce around the map and keep track of everything that is happening. I think this nuke is going to be able to land, though. Basset knew where it was coming from, though. So, unable to make that have any lasting impact. Here comes the show. 2 Nidus worms coming up into the main base. A big drop is going to try and shut these down, and I think that they're going to be able to get shut down. But it's going to be a constant annoyance here for Vindicta to have to deal with as he's trying to not only defend his base but also set up these nukes. And the nuke, no! Oh, 13 dead drones. Great pickup by Vindicta. And Vindicta's now doing everything he possibly can to control the flow of this game. If Basset ever wants to leave his base, he's going to have to make sure that he does it off the heels of protecting... Oh, how? How does he not see it? Okay, there it is. I got nervous. He's gonna have to do it off the heels of leaving his bases vulnerable. Both players are maxed out. You just don't know if this is gonna be enough. Ah, nah, Vindicta left tanks back at home. I don't think that the Nidus worms in the main base are ever gonna be a major issue for Vindicta. Vindicta's done such a nice job of sim-citying his buildings. And Vindicta just has incredible map presence. Like, let's take a look at his map vision. I mean, he can pretty much see to the edge of all of the creep. Granted, the creep has been able to be spread out rather efficiently by Basset. I'm just constantly impressed by how much vision Vindicta has of his side of the map. And here comes the EMP upgrade for Ghost, which is not a bad call at this point. Our Zerg player just does not have a whole lot going on. A little bit of a loss of what to do here in game number 2. This is gonna kill some larvae, but it's not gonna kill. Not gonna kill any drones. This one might though. I think this is actually close enough to death that it might not. Nope. Oh, just killed in the nick of time. 2-2 flyer attack and armor on the way, as well as more nukes. I believe that is the Raven upgrade, right? So we're gonna start seeing, or is that, yeah, that's the Raven upgrade. That's another one that I'm not familiar with. So we're kind of at a standstill right now. Both players just being real cautious and careful, not trying to launch themselves into a battle that they can't easily win. But look at the banks of these two players. 7.5K, 3.6K, 3.9K, 2.8K. Basset's done such a nice job of deflecting all of these nukes that I think Vindicta's gonna have to start getting aggressive in a different way. He's not gonna be able to constantly make that work. Offloading a little bit of supply here by sacrificing his SCVs, because he really doesn't need as many at that point. But now it's a transition into battle cruisers, and that's exactly what I'm talking about there. Yeah, I think the nukes are effectively not valuable anymore. I mean, obviously they are valuable, but I don't think they're gonna get done what needs to get done. Yeah, if he's smart, he doesn't come up that way. He can just stay away. Cool. He sure tried though. He sure tried to bait that forward. Nice creep drop, prevents or stalls out the building of that base. Oh, is he gonna be able to get it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even sure if a multi-pronged nuke hit is going to be as effective at this point. Although he is still committing into building more and more nukes, I think the commitment into battle cruisers is going to be a stronger play in the long term. Ultralisk go and hit the top corner base, and we finally see ourselves in just a little bit of aggression here. Again, both players trying to be very, very, very certain that they don't catch themselves too far out of guard or too far out of place to be able to deal with incoming damage. And this is exactly what I'm talking about here as these battle cruisers start flying on in with the fleet to control a little bit of airspace and to create a little bit of chaos. It is going to pull this entirely ground-hitting army. Oh, I guess there are crafters. To the top side of the map. Those are just going to immediately jump away. Another ghost. Gonna fall victim here. Ooh, that one did get dangerously low, but it will just get healed up. We should be fine. Oh, we might have an engagement here. Not entirely sure. Neither player wants to commit at this point. Another nuke. Okay, so here's the multi-progression, and that's actually going to force Basset forward here. Basset is going to dive on in, has a whole bunch of army here, and is actually going to be able to catch Vindicta off guard just a little bit. The battle cruisers are going to be able to come in and join this fight. A planetary, I don't think, is what Basset needs at this point, although he has the supply lead. A couple of the battle cruisers do manage to go down. The planetary fortress falls as well, and Vindicta's supply just plummets. Zerglings in mass production here as they begin to flood across the map. Over on this side, those are just clones. Those are not helpful. 15 workers have gone down. Basset, I think, has done it. I think he's going to be able to come away with map number 2 here as he picks off yet another planetary fortress. Oh, there goes another battle cruiser as one is able to bump away. 27 workers has gone down. Oh. Basset coming in clutch with a very, very strong play here. I think if he just comes forward and tries to take out some more of the command centers here, that is going to be all she wrote. Those orbital commands are going to fall as Basset continues to work on the top side of the base here. Vindicta is going to try and get a little bit of counter pressure done, but I don't think he has a whole lot to work with. Yeah, I think Basset just sees the writing on the wall. He's going to try and pull in here as hard as he possibly can. Ooh, a really nice anti-armor missile does do a little bit of damage, but Basset just has so much in the bank. He's got so much opportunity to remax. So many of these ultras are so low. Yeah, the bio does get jumped on top of. And I think that's going to be all she wrote for Vindicta. Does get a little bit of damage here, but it's going to be too little, too late. Zerglings are going to be able to clean that up just fine. Some manor nukes going down. Vindicta not trying to leave without anything left in the tank. Although, oh, you gonna be able to get away from that? Oh, yeah. All right, well, that base is lifted. This is the only mining base of Vindicta at this point. And jump on top of it. It is all over but the GG, and jump into the next game. So we're gonna have to see what Basset is able to do in game number 3 here. Clearly we have 2 very contested opponents here. But there's money on the line, and Vindicta doesn't want to jump out too soon. But I think if Vindicta saw what we were able to see, I think he'd have a slightly different opinion. Corruptors kind of being the saviors of this day. I'm struggling to find what more to talk about here. This game's over. I guess Vindicta has been able to remax partially. He's now officially run out of his bank. I think there's just too much here. So this could be the final engagement of this series. Yep, here come the Banelings. They're gonna barrel on in. The mines do not manage to connect with the Banelings. Yep, and there it goes. GG is hard. Oh. There we go. All right, we're gonna close you, and we will get ourselves moved over to the America servers. Okay. What can we accomplish here to close you? Get out. Thank you. All right. So we will go ahead and get set up for map number 3 here. It's gonna be on Nightshade. Nightshade's a pretty good map. Oh, I had all sorts of stuff set and ready to go, and I lost some of it, which is okay. Yes, this is a best of 5. Best of 5. I heard somebody ask in the stream chat if this was a best of 9. Nope, this is a best of 5. First map was something. I don't even remember. Re-invite. Got it. Okay. Oh, the first map was similar. All right. While we're getting set up here, we will do a quick shout out to one of our primary sponsors of this event in G Fuel. G Fuel right now wants to give you a shout out to their product, the official drink of esports. Since 2004, G Fuel has been providing top gamers like PewDiePie and Dr. Disrespect with energy, focus, and endurance. They've just released their new flavor, Castro's Guava, a flavor that pays tribute to the streamer Castro's rich Mexican heritage. Get the new flavor alone or in its limited edition collector's box. G Fuel adds to our prize pool for each of their quests completed, so be sure to go to matcherino.com to complete G Fuel quests and support this tournament. And we want to thank G Fuel for providing funding to not only Alpha X but to StarCraft 2 esports in general. We're so grateful for all of their support as we head in to map number 3 here. We are on Nightshade, spawning in the bottom right hand corner. It's our blue Zerg player playing for 3D Clan. Give it up for Basset. And spawning in the top left, our red Terran player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Vindicta. And well. Somebody needs to get into the game and tell Vindicta where his base is, because he is not building in it right now. So 2 barracks moved out onto the map. We'll have to see if Basset is going to be able to see this. Right now, he's not en route. So I think for the most part, this is going to go rather unscouted. Oh, he changed direction. Did he come over here with a drone? No, he didn't. He knows. He knows. He knows. What a turn of events. The spawning pool is still only partially done, so it is going to be an effort by drones to make this happen. And even still, this is going to be a tall order here as the first Marine is already out. The first bunker is on the way, and the SCV is actually kind of in a really nice place, but when you pull 8 different drones, it's going to be difficult to get that bunker down anyways. Second attempt on that bunker is going to go into place. The drones try to mineral walk their way through it to get an advantage. But I am curious here. The first set of Zerglings are already out. It's actually 6 of them too, so this could be enough damage. And 5 workers are going to go down. Is that bunker going to be able to finish? No way. No way. Oh, it is. It's able to finish. Oh. But it doesn't matter. There's just enough Zerglings here that it's going to be able to shut that all the way down. So the switch into Reapers is actually really nice, but I don't think it's going to be enough at this point. The second base is already down. Second command center is on the way for Vindicta, but Vindicta is going to be playing from just a little bit of a disadvantage. No link speed started just yet, so I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy out of Basset at this point. But Vindicta is trying really hard. He wants to pick off that queen. That queen's only got 45 health left. little bit of a standstill here. Barracks are going to be separated here. Vindicta doing the double command center build. Good for him. So close. So close to getting that queen picked off. Those Reapers, just not enough damage dealt. And this is going to be able to move onwards here. Ling speed was able to be started by Basset. So for the most part, this is not a big deal. Basset able to see the third base being produced by Vindicta, so he knows that this is a rather quick economic shift. So he holds down that drone key. 8 drones in production. Roach Warren does go down. He's going to try and move these Zerglings out across the map as well. See if he can get a little bit of work done. Barracks is going to get as much scouting done as humanly possible before it finally fades into inexistence. And these Zerglings are going to try and pick at the front. There's really nothing here. There's no army in place for Vindicta save for these 3 Reapers, and that's about it. No second base, no third base, just no nothing right now. Stimpack on the way. Vindicta falling a little bit behind in the long-term economics. Short-term, those mules are doing work for him. The Queens have started a march to the northwest. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I think he's looking to try and do an all-in style hit here, knowing that there isn't that much over here. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what's happening here. Bassett's got the gas to make some Ravagers. That's exactly what he's going to do. And he's pulling the boys, the girls, everyone in the club is coming to this party. But the only thing he doesn't have are bases. Hellions are going to come to the bottom of the ramp as the time to strike is now. The transfuses on this Overlord to keep it alive. Basset, you're already supply blocked, my friend. I love the commitment here, but it seems a little silly right now, right? Oh, that's a Marauder in there. I was like, did he load a Hellion into that bunker? How silly. Now, there is no cloak on this Banshee, so the Banshee should be able to get work done but not be invincible. And one tank pretty much shuts all this down. I guess there is a queen in the main. That's the only queen he's got at this point. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you do if you're Basset. You've really invested everything you have into coming across the map. This Banshee's going to try and get a little bit of work done. Now we just kind of sit and wait here. Three workers have gone down because of this Banshee. Evolution chamber on the way, although that might just be to save a drone. Looks like it's going to be allowed to finish. And we're just kind of caught out in the middle here. Queens are going to get actually quite a bit of damage done there. I think more than Vindicta was expecting. But somehow behind all of this, Basset was able to maintain a really good economic stimulus. Somehow squeezing out as many drones as possible, but does sit supply blocked at the current moment. 3 Overlords on the way. And there's the cloak finishing up for the Banshee. He's going to be able to provide some aggression here for Vindicta, taking out a couple of workers. It's going to pick off a third and possibly a queen. Does manage to get the third kill and picks off the queen before it dies. Unbelievable. And Basset trying to delay that third base as long as possible. I'm impressed. We're at the 9-minute mark. Vindicta's been sitting on that third base forever. Just so much patience trying to get that third base out on sight. 1-1 missile incoming for our Zerg player. More and more roaches, more and more ravagers. A larger chunk of Bioforce here for Vindicta, doubling down on the Marines and the tanks as well. Here comes a big drop at the natural expansion here. A really nice wedge. Actually kind of catches Basset a little bit off guard. These Marines are going to get so much work done. Killing off the evolution chamber. Causing a little chaos on the third base location as well. Oh, he's just going to go right back in. What a monster. And Bassett's winding up once again with a really strong army lead. Does have a fourth base finishing up here. The tank spread's pretty nice, but it's only, I guess there's a fourth tank. Two of them are on the low ground. If he can manage to clear the tank right here, he actually opens himself up an avenue to work with. And all four of those tanks are down. Can he get that last tank? I think he can. All the tanks have been cleared up, and Basset sits with a really, really strong position here, laying siege to that natural base expansion. No! Some really, really clutch vials dropping down. 22 workers go down. Vindicta's supply is just plummeting. He's forced to pull off of the third base as well. But the counter damage here is going to be a little devastating. 11 workers goes down. It's going to be difficult to see how they can micro on both fronts here. Both players trying to deal as much damage as possible. We're going to do the same and try and micro back and forth. And somehow Vindicta comes out on top. Somehow, some way, Vindicta says no. I don't care that you have 4 bases. I don't care that you had 30 plus army supply on me. I'm gonna come out ahead. And come out ahead he did. Keeps most of his medevacs from both fights. Another drop here is going to go right into that 4th base location and deal some more havoc. There's not much here for drones, but they are slowly starting to populate. This is never gonna be allowed to finish. What do you do if you're Basset? You're now down 15 supply. You're up 15 workers, though. The delicate position we're sitting in right now. It's going to come down to what Vindicta is able to continue doing with his army aggression. He's got that 92-77 army lead. But he's very vulnerable. Ooh, but so is this main base right now. Does get a nice sizable drop in here. The spawning pool is at risk. He's just going to decide to go after. Just going to choose to go after the workers instead. Getting 4 drones for his trouble. Help even out that worker count just a little bit. And suddenly we find ourselves with a slightly even game. Basset does have that insanely high gas bank. He doesn't have any minerals to spend on it just yet. More and more Ravagers is the best way to utilize that gas. And he's just going to march across the map once again. It's a really scary force by Vindicta. Basset, you need your whole army here. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this is all going wrong for Basset here. Bulk of Vindicta's army does take out quite a few Ravagers as Basset manages to file his own unit And without anything to cover for this, these Ravagers are just super exposed and not going to be able to take out those Marines. Yeah, GG. It is a great engagement by Vindicta. Unfortunate timing for Basset as he has to exit briefly from game number 3 here. Whew. So back to Europe we go for map number 4. We'll have to find out in a moment where we're gonna head. But while we wait for that, I do want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Make sure, check out that Matcherino link at the top of the chat. The code you need is APS158, and that'll help you add 50 cents for free to the prize pool of this tournament. And again, even though this is a best of 5, we are very quickly... who am I missing? Oh. We are very quickly going to find ourselves in a different best of 5. So don't go anywhere after this game number 4 and maybe game number 5. We'll have a completely different matchup, another best of 5, and the winner from both of these best of 5s will play in our finals today for the lion's share of today's prize money. So we need your help with that Matcherino. APS158 is the code you need. Whew. Exciting stuff. Some really good games so far. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. Thank you for social distancing and staying inside watching StarCraft 2. Very, very important in these scary, trying times. We're headed to Purity and Industry next. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. So this is a potential match point for Vindicta. If Vindicta is able to win, he will move on to our finals of this event. However, Basset wins, we'll go to a game number 5. It'll be a pretty quick and even series then. Waiting for both our players to be set and ready to go. Use this opportunity right now to talk about one of our other sponsors here in F-Bomb. It's time to give another shout out to F-Bomb. They are a line of low-carb, high-fat foods to help you live a healthier life. They research, test, taste, and source the highest quality ingredients and put them into custom-made packages. Thanks to F-Bomb products and their unique packaging, finding tasty, high-quality fat options at home or on the go is no longer a challenge. Whether you're at work, working out, on a hike, seeing the world, or playing a little bit of StarCraft 2, you will want to be sporting F-Bombs. We want to thank them for sponsoring our events here at Alpha X, making everything as awesome as they possibly can. As we get ourselves in, I gotta figure out all my different things here. As we get ourselves into map number 4, it's a potential map point for the opponent of this player, spawning in the right side of Purity and Industry. Playing for 3D Clan. Give it up for our blue Zerg, Basset. And spawning in the top of Purity and Industry, our red Terran player playing for Team Alpha X. Give it up for Vindicta. Now this map can be challenging for a caster because we go back and forth between the really, really bright side of Purity, and then I get over to Industry and it's like, oh, it's just so delightful. Oh. Oh. Just a nice little effect there. So we all knew that this map was going to come up eventually today. We'll have to see how many times we can get it to appear. So this map is rather funky as well. It's going to force Vindicta into a really, really quick second command center. Take a look at all of the space that this map has to work with. I feel like if you're a Zerg player, this map can be really, really good because it gives you a lot of space to spread out. There is this gold in the bottom left. But your bases are really far spread out from each other, which does make that challenging if you find yourself playing in a long-term game. So, Reaper's gonna get a little bit of damage done here, already picking off one Zergling. There's no queen just yet, and there it pops. So Reaper's gonna be able to bounce away for now. Other than that, over here for Vindicta, not a whole lot else going on. Basset's able to clear up the SCV, blocking the third base expansion rather quick. Oh, I forgot to talk about the island. Yes, so naturally, this airspace between Purity and Industry here would be an insanely difficult drop path to defend against if you're playing against a Terran. So these time warp fields, inhibitor zone generators are their official terms, protect you from that real quick cheese here. But there is a base in the top right. Just chilling out. So who knows what we're gonna see in this game. This could very, very easily devolve into a quick and dirty, or really, really drawn out. A couple more Hellions are being posted up at the front of Vindicta's base. It is two others and a Reaper. Deal a little bit of creep spread damage over at Basset's base. Basset's done a really nice job of maintaining his creep spread throughout the course of this game. Does actually pool up a nice amount of drones to go saturate that third base with. So doing everything he possibly can. Armory is going to come down really, really fast. So we might see a switch into Blue Flame Hellions that can transition into Hellbats that can just be extra super annoying. We'll have to see what Vindicta decides to go for. Could also be Widow Mines, since we do still have a reactor on the factory, but Stimpack is going to be allowed to finish up. Interesting. Very interested to see what that's going to hold for our StarCraft 2 future here. Baneling Nest is all the way completed. Lair is 3/4 of the way done. Here dive in the Hellions. Hellions gonna get, yes, it is gonna be this Hellbat timing here. So Hellbats turn into biological units when you morph them, so they are able to benefit from medevacs. Really nice concave here by Basset. Does a pretty nice job of defending against this, but very quickly running out of units. 3 queens go down. All 4 queens are going to go down as well, and now suddenly the third base mineral line is exposed and open. I think that is going to be quickly cleaned up. Not before a couple of workers may fall. 4 workers in total. Been a lot worse, all things considered. Basset doing a really nice job of bouncing back. Are we going to see a game number 5? It's entirely possible here, because I think Basset's going to see this wall. He's going to want to Baneling bust it down. Bane speed is only a quarter of the way done, so it is going to be a little bit of time. 1/1 bio, 1+1 tank is on the way. 1/1 is being researched for Zerglings as well. Vindicta really managing to bounce back there really fast. 4th base is already completed for Basset. That's going to be a great tool for him, as Vindicta does manage to start saturating his 3rd base location as well. Yeah, we're just seeing some really strong timings here from both of our players. Being very flexible, kind of going with the flow, taking the punches as quickly as they can. Basset already on 70 worker count as well. That's incredibly strong. Vindicta's going to try and do a little bit of damage, moving out here with his Marines. This is going to hit the timing here for 1/1. So this is about to become very, very strong. What does Basset have here? He does have some Banelings, and he's got a Queen. But the rest of his army is caught out. Tanks are allowed to siege, and the Marines are able to push forward. That 4th base is going to be a tiny bit exposed. Zergling's going to try and wrap around the backside, and the Marines are going to beat him to the punch. Scan goes down to hold back the Marines. Far out of the way. Really nice focus fire on the Banelings, but big surround here to be able to clean up most of this. One Baneling managed to connect with a big chunk of the army. But here comes the scary drop into the main. One tank's gonna go with it. Oh, and he does manage to pull that out just in the last second. All these Zerglings are gonna be able to pour on in, but they're not going directly for the army yet. Oh, is he gonna be able to clean that up? No. Why? I think he could have stayed. I think he could have committed another 2 seconds and gotten that base, that macro base dead. But Basset with a good hold. Drilling claws on the way, +2. Vehicle armor, or vehicle weapons, excuse me. 2/2. Mutalisk. Of course, mutas. In great times of Zerg need, the Mutalisk has always been there. More and more Zerglings continue to pour out from Basset's side of the map. Continuing to just commit into a large amount of Ling Bane. Now the mutas are going to be a nice addition to that. And there they are. Raising the stink in the main base of Vindicta. Although he's lost quite a few. Oh, there aren't any missile turrets yet. That's a gross oversight by Vindicta here. Counter pressure is going to hit on the south side. That base is not going to be allowed to finish. Does pull the drone out just in the nick of time. Hive is on the way. Planetary Fortress action going down. 4th base location. Tanks are able to siege up just in the nick of time. That's going to prevent most of this Ling Bane from being able to get in unobstructed. Oh. Gross. So many Zergs and Banes. Is that a 5th base? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting base choice. Could have taken that base. Could have taken that base. Instead takes that base. I suppose it's already connected to creep. That makes sense. Mutas are continuing to get more and more damage done. 6 more workers do go down. And then they are just gonna fly into, oh, hello. Nope. Dance party. Okay. Cool. Hopefully that wasn't too much like any one techno song that we get copyright claim. Sorry, Sushi. Mewtwo's going to try and dip in here at the 4th base location, but there is a missile turret and quite a few units, so that is going to be easily deflected. And I worry that the longer that this game goes, those Mewtwo's are going to become less and less valued. Oh, big mine hit. Oh, and then the Thors come out. And now the Mewtwo's are effectively 3 times less valuable. Oh, another big mine hit. Gross. Oh, a drone, just chilling. Taking its summer vacation over on Purity. So, it's okay. It's a real beautiful time of the year. And now Vindicta is maxed out and ready to move. So, starting the slow burn forward. Big Ling run by that just does not accomplish anything. Nothing at all other than just freeing up his supply. And maybe that was the point. 3 Ultras on the way, chitinous plating as well as +3 is on the way. More and more Lings. 3-3 on the way as well. Vindicta's just gonna, again, slow push this. Yeah, that Ultra died for free. Some unfortunate rallies happening here for Basset. He does have a 6th base on site. Kills mine with the Baneling. Basset is sitting with a rather large mineral bank, so remaking some of these Zerglings is not a difficult task. Oh, hi Mutus. Oh, picks off a tank. Sure showed me. Let's talk about Muta value. Does he have high ground vision of this yet? No, he sort of does, and now he definitely will. Just continually trying to pick off as much as they possibly can. Oh, but they committed really hard into all of that. But here comes a big surround. Lots of Zerglings surround the tanks. 2 of the tanks go down. 1 more tank does need to fall. Really nice Baneling connections as well, but Basset does come out the loser. Oh, this could be nice. Oh, only gets 3 for all of those Banelings. 3 is not what he needed. I like the Space Cow, but I don't know if Space Cows are going to be enough on this particular map here. Vindicta is doing a really nice job of zoning, keeping his tanks protected, and just being very aggressive. So aggressive, he's just running Marines right. Because why not? Why not, right? He's got the money. He's starting to build a little bit of a bank. This drop's gonna go cause a little chaos. But speaking of chaos being caused, this base in the top left is gonna go down. Nice little Zergling run by, but here comes the real challenge for Basset. Vindicta just has so many things all across the map. 1 base is gonna be able to fall. This drop in the main has effectively been deflected. But now this is gonna be a scary pull. But more Zergling run-bys happening in Vindicta's base, continuing to get tons and tons of damage done. Yeah, Space Cow. Look at that. Ooh, Space Cow. Well, workers do go down for Vindicta. This base is going to continually be under fire. Vindicta's going to constantly put pressure on to this specific location. Another Zergling run by. Basset's doing everything he possibly can to keep Vindicta on edge, not allowing him to freely take any supply. Another base is going to go down, down. Now Basset decides to take the closer, a little bit easier base. Front door was actually knocked down. So these Zerglings, I believe, have Adrenal. Yeah, they do. So those are very, very quick, doing a lot of damage. That is a lot of Ultras, and this is what got Basset back into the game. Game number 2. He just had so many that he just overwhelmed his opponent and then partnered it with Corruptors. So Basset's doing everything he needs to make himself successful here in map number 4. Cute little barracks placement there to block off that little ramp. Now we're in a little bit of a standstill once again. Those Marauders are incredibly tanky. They are incredibly strong. Basset's going to have to be careful engaging into those. And now here we go into Ghost shenanigans. Once again, I won't be surprised if we see more nukes, pathogen glands being researched, as well as +3 flyer upgrades. Corruptors are zooming around trying to find any possible damage they can get. But the Ghosts, as of this moment, are just going to be really good for those snipes. There is one nuke on the way. Oh, Basset does fight a little bit on creep, but not with enough force here. Does lose a big chunk of his Ultralisk army. Does lose another base as well, and suddenly Vindicta finds himself in a very, very tight choke. It's a lot of Balins, so eventually Vindicta is going to need to back off. And back off right now, he does. Really good fungals help lock down some of the Terran army. Some really good splits. I wonder if it's going to be enough, though. Vindicta's supply does plummet just a little bit. Did he overextend here? Basset able to clean up a big chunk of Vindicta's army. Vindicta did have a little bit in the bank, but I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do here to rebound. He is sitting at 63 workers, so he's not in a terrible place. Does have a couple of fresh mining bases. 1, 2, 3. This one still has a tiny bit. This one's effective. This one's effective. There goes the first nuke. Thwarted. Zergling run by is not going to be super effective when it runs into a military fortress. It's actually the base in the back corner that is going to be the base that Basset wants the most of. And I think he set himself up into a position where he could just very easily roll over Vindicta once again. It's got 109 army supply to 81 of Vindicta. And again, we're seeing glimpses of game number 2, where Basset was able to just continually outproduce. Now we're going to see a couple of nukes here. So nuke over on the gold base is going to get picked up, but this nuke is going to be allowed to finish. And it does take out 13 workers. And now the real harassment begins. Nobody has taken this base yet. It's a fresh base. It's always available. For the low, low price of flying something over there. Looks like Vindicta is going to go for his 7th base. Sieging on site to try and protect it. Basset just biding his time, being very, very patient. Checking to see the situation of the high ground here. He's got enough corruptors, he might be able to just pick one or two off with one shot. Basset, very good listening skills. I'm assuming that Basset's not able to see the red dot, but if you've ever played here, do you hear it? The low rumble. Liberators push forward here to try and protect the ghost, and one Liberator does get killed almost immediately. Oh boy. Oh, it's happened. It's happening! And he doesn't know, does he? No. Not a clue. Zergling's finding the man-made wall of Vindicta here. Not going to be able to do the run-by he was hoping for. And again, we're kind of at a standstill. Vindicta was able to get back into this game. Does sit up 72 to 61 workers, but at this supply count, that could end up being a bit of a liability. Tank and man-made wall is going to be able to hold that down. Vindicta kind of hoping that he's going to run his army in. Ooh, he might actually lose his. Doesn't quite lose the army. That got really close though. And that nuke was able to finish. Assault on the mineral line. Basset still does not know. Oh, but he's gonna. Oh, but he's gonna.
Mineral field exhausted.
He's gonna find out, folks.
Expended.
He knows. Ghost's gonna continue dealing more and more harassment here. He even scans where it is. Queen of the Creep Tumors go down. It's a nice pickup, but not quite what he is looking for. Oh, I don't know how that didn't complete. Drop coming into the main, where this hatchery has been damaged for literally ever. And I don't understand how it hasn't healed any further than that. Well, now it doesn't matter, because it's dead. And Vindicta's going to try and push on two different fronts, forcing a majority of the army back. Oh, is that gonna go? Not quite. Close though. Another nuke going down to a little bit more freshly attuned base. Oh, he's trying to bait the army over with the SCVs. That's so dirty. That's so dirty. Wait, there's Rich Vespine on this map? Oh, yeah, there it is. Look at that. Oh. Sorry. I just get all excited. 26 minutes in, and there's no sign of stopping here. The army supply is drastically different here, 152 to 133. But I think Vindicta has a lot of high-quality army supply that will very easily protect him from Basset just waltzing on in. Oh, he will really want to do something about it. Yeah, nukes are a very good unit. That is true. Oh, the fusion core does get picked off. Really nice run by of Zerglings here, dealing some good damage. Another nuke is going to go down. A few more workers do get picked off. 47 to 31. It's kind of crazy here. A couple of battle cruisers already out as well. Vindicta's going to need to build another fusion core if he's going to want... Well, wait a minute. He's building more and more. Were there 2 fusion cores? There were 2 fusion cores. Excuse me? Who does that? I think it is important to note the banks to both of our players. Vindicta does happen to have a stronger gas bank, which at this point in the game I think is going to be important to note. Oh, this nuke's going to connect. It is going to kill this base. And kill about 7 workers. Only 4. And there's another base that's going to go down as well. Okay, Vindicta's starting to push the issue here. Slowly sieging forward. Making this a big deal. I'm willing to believe that it was all this base. The moment Vindicta started to win was the moment that he took this corner base. Prove me wrong. It's a big army, though. 171 army supply here of units. And I don't know that Vindicta can take this base on. We're gonna have to see what happens here. One of the orbital commands does get picked off. But now what does Vindicta do? I think he just has to let that go. He's gonna try and take that base. You dirty dog. EMP upgrade is going to come up, and that I think is a great choice by Vindicta to help deal with the infestors that are now sitting at approximately full HP. I don't know if this base is going to be allowed to finish. He does clear up the rich Vespine geyser. It's only got 194 left. So it's rather tapped out. Another base goes down. And we're going to see another nuke. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay, let's pick off that nuke. Spooky. Yeah, Vindicta is sitting here with a very, very strong mineral and gas bank. But I wouldn't count Vindicta out just yet. Ooh, these snipes are going to be really strong, though. Ooh, some really, really good fungals. Unable to clear that planetary fortress just yet, though. How did that get turned into a planetary? I did not realize that he didn't get that kill. That's actually crucial. I think that could be very damaging for Basset here. That's a base that he absolutely needs access to. There's still 8 good mineral patches there. And I guess Vindicta's just gonna let it go. Still a rather large amount of minerals with that base as well. Oh, we did have a nuke that was fired right there. So slowly pressing in further and further, and now the battle cruisers are going to do more damage back at home. And this is going to be the split damage. That might, I was going to say, that might just collect the edge. These battle cruisers are going to be uncontested wins. I just don't think Basset can afford to pull the Corruptors away to go deal. So this could be a force into a big fight. Real nice fungal, but there's just no energy. DMP's got landed all over those infestors, and that's now a lot of useless army. A couple more Hydras, or excuse me, a couple more Ultralisks do go down. And Basset is starting to struggle. Just doesn't have any resources to refer to, and now the battle cruisers come over, and this is going to force a fight here. Not that big of a fight. They did their thing, and then they just bounced backwards. I respect that. Zergling run by, coming up over here. But Basset just doesn't have anything to do about Vindicta's army. He's gonna try and clean up as much damage as he possibly can. But the real issue is all of the bases that he will inevitably lose. Nice ghost spread back at home for Vindicta. Try and keep that at bay. Now Basset's starting to run on fumes. He does have a large number of Corruptors. He's just unfortunately outclassed here by Vindicta. So Vindicta doing the right thing, making this a slow burn. Does bounce battle cruisers out of the way. That's gonna be all she wrote. GG is called, and Vindicta with a 3-1 victory takes the first portion of this series. Very, very nice. Well done. Well done. GG to both of our players. That is going to get us set up for our second best of 5. It is going to be between MaxPax and Cuddlebear. But we are going to take a short, brief break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is the Alpha Pro Series 158. My name is Rushy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. All right, welcome back, folks. Hope you had a good break. I made sure to stand up and stretch and rest my voice just a little bit. And I am ready to get on with our second matchup here. It's going to be a PvT, MaxPax versus Cuddlebear. Some great folks here to provide us our second best of 5. So Vindicta, just to be clear, Vindicta wins our first best of 5. He moves on to the finals to face the winner of MaxPax versus Cuddlebear. We'll have a best of 7 after this matchup. So we are so grateful to all of you for sticking around and having fun and joining us here for some more StarCraft 2 action right on Africa TV with Alpha X. So there's the sound you can hear. We are jumping on into our next series. Should be good. Should be very good. I'm very excited. Oh, excuse me. Oh, nope, wrong screen. Oh, there we go. Pog. Here we are in Simulacrum, our first map of the series. It's the map I get to pick, so I feel powerful and good and all that stuff. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Our blue Terran player playing for Team Alpha X. Give it up for Cuddlebear. And spawning in the top left, our Danish Protoss player. Give it up for MaxPax. Now, MaxPax is known for being extra silly. How silly, you might ask? It's a great question. This silly. I'm gonna proxy a gateway partway across the map, kind of silly. And I'm gonna make you feel really silly about it, kind of silly. Now, MaxPax is no stranger to the world. I know some of you got really excited when you heard that MaxPax was in today's event. So, his strategies are usually well scouted, but Cuddlebear hasn't quite gotten there. No, he turned around. Oh, Cuddlebear. Oh, Cuddlebear. You came and you didn't look right there. Oh, Cuddlebear. Good grief. So this probe just going to continue to be a little bit of a pain. But Cuddlebear does manage to get his natural down. But now he sees there's treachery afoot. And also zealous. Now if well microed, that Reaper will never take any damage. Oh, but he could. A couple of workers do go down, so, you know, kind of paid for itself. Not gonna lie. Marine takes a little bit of damage. That probe somehow is still alive. Not from a corner. There it goes. And now we have to see where MaxPax decides to go from here. He is still chronoing out this gateway, so it has plenty of units. Another stalker on the way to continue dealing more and more damage. And he's just trying everything he possibly can to prevent that command center from completing. Alas, it is too good to be true. Cuddlebear is able to get his second base established. Now that Reaper did bump in. It did get 2 kills, so trying to slowly stifle MaxPax's economy bit by bit. Another stalker incoming. Bunker does keep those 2 Marines alive, at least for the moment. But I love the commitment to the use of the gateway across the map for so long. Granted, it's only 4 minutes into the game. Feels like we've been in this game for a very, very long time. you know that's what happens when you play something that's super aggressive, that opens in such a fun and interesting way? It just makes it feel like a big commitment of time. But what do I know? I'm just a caster. Oh, thank goodness. I thought the music was gone forever. More gateways being warped in on MaxPax's side of the map. Tank and Liberator coming out as well. Cuddlebear's concerned, though. He knows MaxPax is trying to wind up for another big hit, so it does drop down a second bunker. Doesn't have any units quite yet to fill it. But here comes the aggression he was worried about. 4 Stalkers that are going to take a little ride with the Warp Prism. Is gonna, I don't know, he hasn't quite decided where he wants to go with that. Robotics Bay being warped in on his side of the map. More tanks. Actually, yeah, it's just he's got the 1 so far, right? Yeah, just got the 1. Liberator doing its absolute best to stay undetected until it is picking off probes in the mineral line. And MaxPax is still able to get a Nexus down at the 5-minute 30-second mark. Very, very impressive stuff. This Reaper is going to try and get in. It is going to be thwarted. But here comes the Liberator of Doom, getting a couple of kills. 4 probes going down so far. The Reaper must have picked away one of them initially. Oh, that Liberator picking out a sentry. That was quite expensive. So 6 workers do go down for MaxPax. Does put him a little bit behind in the probe count. But Cuddlebear is not prepared to move out anytime soon. Currently working on getting his 3rd base on site. Colossus are already in production, as well as a speed upgrade for Warp Prisms. No, the Vein upgrade is Flux Veins is for Void Rays. What is the upgrade? Gravitic Drive. Got it. Just when I need to know, the game tells me. Gravitic Drive is now completed. Is going to create some extra fun micro for MaxPax to participate in. Hallucinated Phoenix gonna come in. What's it gonna see? It is gonna see a 3rd base on the ground. Not quite out on production just yet. It does not see the Raven in the top right-hand corner. We saw it because we can see everything. But we'll have to see where that Raven takes us over the course of the next little while. MaxPax does have a large army out on the center of the map. But here comes Cuddlebear's Raven as it drops an auto turret in place. 1 shield battery is going to be able to help protect that mineral line. But there is no shield battery in the natural. So that is going to take out a good chunk of kills. Warp Prism is going to be able to escape with a Colossus in tow. A couple more Stalkers being warped in. And suddenly Cuddlebear's finding himself economically behind. Sure, they are even on workers, but right now MaxPax is spreading those 62 workers out over the course of 3 bases, where Cuddlebear is just now transferring these and are immediately already under fire. Oh, and this is absolutely devastating timing for Cuddlebear. gets zoned out of all of his workers, and suddenly he's 15 workers lighter. So Cuddlebear just decides this is the time to pick up and go. Well, I was going to say, if MaxPax is careful, he can maybe get underneath there and get one caught. But, oh, it's going to get a really nice surround here. Disruptor in play as well is going to try and cause some havoc. Oh, MaxPax with the blink is not quite able to pick off any of those medevacs, at least not at this point. Those medevacs are now low. Oh, the stalkers. Oh, the stalkers. He is going to get one, and it was actually the most full. 3 of them. Dirty. Impressive play, though. MaxPax picking up yet another Colossus, and he just continues rolling forward. Cuddlebear is able to transition into that third base, but MaxPax is already putting down his 4th. He's almost all the way there, and he certainly has the workers that he needs to get that filled up. But the Raven here is continuing to be a nuisance. Does have six kills. Very well done. I think MaxPax needs to be careful, though. Army supplies are dead even for the 2 players. One disruptor shot could change all of that. I wonder if he's trying to get Cuddlebear to commit into anti-disruptor play. Drive proving to cause nuisance. Does actually recall that back home to somewhere, to the 4th base location, which is now finished and fully mining. 76 to 68 workers. Big engagement here with the stalkers at the 3rd base. Those tanks are allowed to do a lot of really devastating damage, though. Oh, the juggle micro is insane. I'm amazingly impressed. Both of them, well, one of them goes down, regardless. Cuddlebear taking an army advantage, 112 to 88. So while MaxPax is able to flex his muscles, micro, not as constant on the army side. The big disruptor shots do come out, but I don't think it's going to protect that 4th base. The 4th base is going to fall. He's actually just going to pick up and run away, which is a smart choice. Oh, he thought about taking 2 of those. 8 workers go down in that exchange as well. I'm also just still surprised that this has stood for the majority of the game. Not that it's insanely crucial. I'm just surprised. 4th base on the way for Cuddlebear. Suddenly MaxPax finds himself with a slight supply lead once again. And we just have a nice little back and forth dance here. Ooh, some DTs getting warped in at the main base, and it appears that there is enough energy. Oh. But he just doesn't have anything to deal with. Oh. I don't know how he missed. Oh, this is hilarious. Finally forces yet another scan. That burns a lot of energy. Big disruptor shots trying to deal some more damage. Not able to connect with their targets. That base floated over a little prematurely. Does not have a great angle to protect it, but the tanks are able to push back. Those Colossus do actually take one out for almost free. 7 disruptors There's nothing to sneeze at this point. He's gonna come on in once again and lay siege. Oh, some good disruptor shots that do protect that ramp. Oh, that's gonna take out a huge chunk of Marauders. Whew. Some very good coordinated firing here by MaxPax, taking out the tanks, taking out the bio, and the bio just said, forget it. We know you can't siege our base, or if you can, it's gonna have to come at the cost. 3 more tanks are gonna protect the 3rd base location. And it's just gonna be a big warp in recall back home. The 4th base is under fire once again. I don't know if the bio is going to be able to clear this up. Is choosing to go after a lot of the probes, but doesn't find the Archons and takes a lot of splash damage, not getting the engagements that he is hoping for. EMP prematurely takes out the shields of some units that are warping in. That certainly could go a lot worse in MaxPax's condition. But look at all these medevacs. Not a single medevac that is in good range. In fact, the one that has the most units in it has 2 hit points. 2! MaxPax making the most of these scenarios. Once again, this is just silly. Dark Templar are going to continue to put pressure on and prevent the expansion of more bases. However, Cuddlebear has chosen to go south, so this base will probably remain open for the foreseeable future. But MaxPax is supply capped. He really needs to take this opportunity to go. Tanks are not quite set. They are going now. All those disruptor shots just kind of landed in the middle of nowhere, and it's an unfortunate engagement. EMPs do clear most of the shields of the Protoss army, and this is a great engagement for Cuddlebear. Little run by of Zealot is going to do some damage here, pick off some workers. Big chunk of the army not going to be able to engage anytime soon. 72 to 56 workers. So MaxPax is trading the way he needs to. 5th base is already on site as well. And ghosts are out on the field once again. It is a ghost kind of day. I absolutely agree. No tanks here defending the 3rd base, and I guess MaxPax didn't want to take the chance. Ooh. Does get a nice pick off on one of those medevacs. There are the tanks. 5 in total. Those are going to be very, very difficult to get into. One disruptor shot does manage to land. So, does get a good chunk of army. Thermal Lance coming in handy here as the Colossus are able to fire from a safe distance. Those tanks are going to get cleaned up. I think MaxPax has it. Yes, GG is called. Game number 1 goes to our Protoss player. Well played. Well played. We are going to head over to the European server for map number 2. See our good friend there. Okay. Vindicta's just chilling. There's MaxPax. And where is Cuddlebear? Well, we will wait patiently for Cuddlebear to show up, let me take an opportunity. We will do a sponsor shout out for G Fuel, the official drink of esports. Since 2004, G Fuel has been providing top gamers like PewDiePie and Dr. Disrespect with energy, focus, and endurance. They've just released their new flavor, Castro's Guava, a flavor that pays tribute to the streamer Castro's rich Mexican heritage. Get the new flavor alone or in its limited edition collector's box. G Fuel adds to our prize pool for each of their quests completed, so be sure to go to matcherino.com to complete G Fuel quests and support this tournament. And we are so glad to have them and their support in all we do here at Alpha X. We are getting set and ready. Let's see. Cuddlebear does need to let us know what to do. Purity in industry. All right. Wonderful. Can't say I'm surprised. All right. So we are set here. Waiting on one of our players to be set and ready to go. There we go. Off we go here. Map number 2, Purity and Industry. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, folks. Make sure to share this with your friend. All of them, all one of them, or all of them. You know what? We can just do all of them. Give these players some support and love. So I'm just now noticing that MaxPax does have a teammate that he plays for. And I'm just now noticing it. Didn't show it on a Ligulac though. Sad day, I would have announced it for game number 1. Oh well, we'll get it now. Spawning on the right-hand side of Purity and Industry, playing for the Cutie Club. Give it up for MaxPax. And spawning into the top of Purity and Industry. Playing for NA player. What? I thought he played for Alpha X. Oh well. Give it up for Cuddlebear. Oh. That's okay. Thank you, Overlay. Chico. And Chico. We've done it. Alright. So, MaxPax deciding to play just a normal game in a normal place. Building his buildings where they are supposed to go. Oh, I got a little dicey. What do you guys think of this map? I think this map is interesting. Obviously, from like a Zerg standpoint, there's a lot of opportunity for it. But we haven't really talked about the Protoss side. I don't know if a big, expansive map is the best option for our Protoss player. Although, could allow for some real crazy shenanigans. I don't know what was building there. I think it was there are no hotkeys. I think it was an engineering bay. That's the words I'm trying to say. Provide a little bit of blockage. Reaper's gonna be able to do a little bit of damage. Probe does get pulled. I think it's gonna get picked off. Yep, there it goes. 2 workers go down so far. MaxPax, and MaxPax just doesn't have any response yet. The Adept is now out, so it will be able to zone this out, but not before 4 workers go down. And yet somehow there's a Zealot over here that manages to kill 4 workers. So potato potato. Oh, a bunker was able to be made prior to. What a crazy game so far. We're 3 minutes in. It's already been wild. Bunker is allowed to be canceled. No surprises there. But now it's the Adept's turn to try and do a little bit of harassment, and it can fire over top of that barrier. Hellion's able to roll on in, and without a partner, this Hellion's not as scary. It does really take 2 Hellions to be able to deal the kind of devastating damage. Oh, it does get trapped. Wow. It does take 2 Hellions to deal the devastating damage that you want to see from that. And probes are just a little more sturdier. A little more sturdy than drones. Twilight Council is done. Charge is on the way, as well as 2 more gateways. Meanwhile, a Banshee is being built on Cuddlebear's side of the map. Feels like MaxPax is going to try and move into a bit of a timing attack, where Cuddlebear is going to kind of prepare for it. Ooh, those 2 Adepts are going to be able to shade right on in, and I was going to be really surprised if they were allowed to finish. They do get a chance to see the Bio Ball in its greater glory. Unable to do a second wave of scouting. But yeah, more tanks, more Marines. I was gonna say, I don't think we have any stims, so these are Marines without stim pack. Not nearly as dangerous. And since we don't have a barracks that's sitting on a tech lab at this point, I don't believe we're going to see. I don't believe we're gonna see stim pack anytime soon. So this charge timing could be very, very dangerous. But so is his Banshee timing. Look, Banshee is able to deal good damage here. No Observer. There's the Observer now. A lot of workers are going to go down. 6, 7, 8, 9 workers. Could be. I'm going to be able to clear this out. No. Nope. It's gonna get out. But here comes the real threat. Oh, another Banshee. Huh. Charge lives just run forward and then they run back. Ah, I see. I see. I've played the game StarCraft once or twice. Cloak Banshee's gonna come in and try and find more damage. I think with shield battery, I think that's going to be fine. Here's the scary timing. Lots of charge lots. Oh, that Banshee was allowed to finish. Cyclone does go down, but other than that, it was a rather underwhelming attack. Cuddlebear is going to continue getting more and more damage put together. That Banshee fall. think the other Banshee did as well. So both players just kind of picking away at each other. Not getting any lethal damage taken care of. Oh, there's that Banshee. Banshee's only got 1 kill though. Oh, I think it might get a... Nope. More Warpins by MaxPax down below. I wonder if it's going to pick up and try and ferry in once again. There's a tank there, so not a whole lot of damage going to be dealt from that angle. Warpin of Stalkers. Try and pad the army supply. Blink is being researched as well. Oh yeah, and these workers or these units are going to try and do everything they can to prevent. Ow! Oh! Wow, I do not think that MaxPax expected that. The range on that Cyclone was insane. I also think that instead of just getting 1 kill for that, I think it should also get kills for everything that was inside of it. I think that seems totally fair. Small drop on the way to MaxPax's base as Cuddlebear continues to take his 3rd base expansion. Siege tank trying hard to cover for the boys down below. Drop was deflected and it goes into the tower. Oh. Cute little micro with the warp prism. Banshee does get picked up once again. Cuddlebear just doesn't have an angle at this current moment. He's going to be forced to go back home and recollect where more mines, more Marine and Marauder are incoming, I assume. Yeah, we finally did get combat shield and stim pack. Little dance back and forward here, trying to bait out all the Windlemine shots, and once those shots are down, there isn't a whole lot protecting them. MaxPax does fight up a ramp, which is not a great choice, especially since there are 2 tanks sitting up on the high ground just whittling away army. 2 or 3 kills I don't think are enough to reflect the amount of damage they've done to soften up. 11 workers could go down. Oh! One of those tanks did get cleared up. All right, MaxPax, I see you. I see you. Oh, I'm surprised you didn't just jump right on top of that. Okay, so once again, both players, tit for tat. Anything you can do, I can do better. Zealot does scout. There's a big chunk of army moving out. Big blink forward to try and pick off these mines. Oh, all the Zealots are caught back behind. This is not an engagement MaxPax want to take. He's got the supply lead. He just needs to be very, very careful. Okay, some nice friendly fire from those mines. 16 workers do go down. Another huge Warpin is sabotaged on the counterattack. And I think MaxPax is going to be able to push this away. He just has to be very careful. He does not want to throw away the lead that he has. Not just yet. There's going to be 1 disruptor out. Oh, manages to kill all the mines. Really nice. This is a scary bio army, though. Does not want to overcommit here. Cuddlebear not working with a third base. Only now flying it over to the far left, which I think in this case, I think is just a much better play in general. So he's going to take his stalkers and swing them around the right-hand side, try and deal a little bit more damage. Oh, and actually Cuddlebear trying to fake the third base here. Yeah, he is actually killing. When in reality, it was the fourth base, and the third base is fully mining. But for MaxPax's sake, he is already on fourth base. So this is still a pretty okay position for him to play from. Cuddlebear trying to cobble together a little bit of an economy here at 45 workers. He does have a nice army supply. He's managing to keep himself even army-wise with MaxPax. But I think the longer this game goes on, the more difficult it's going to be for him to stay in this game. He is already down 30-some odd supplies. This choke. Every time MaxPax really wants to fight up that choke. Oh, he does grab a ghost with that disruptor shot. That was pretty helpful. That was got a lot of value to it. But he keeps wanting to fight up that choke, and I just don't see it. He's gonna be able to walk up this one, so at least he can get onto level ground. But I'd love to see him just clear that debris. Disruptor shots are gonna pick off the mines. That's a great choice. More ghosts are on the way as yet another run by happens. Does pick off one of the engineering bays. I think that is going to be allowed to continue functioning. MaxPax's going to try and posture up on this side. Doesn't grab a couple. Not a lot, though. That's going to grab just a few more. That's going to be... Oh! Thought that was going to be a big one. It actually does get picked off before it's allowed to explode. More stalkers coming up from the rear. MaxPax does need to be careful. Where are these warp-ins happening? Must have been back at home. Yep, there it was. That's going to be a run by here very, very soon. 71 to 48 workers. This is where MaxPax is going to continue to thrive because he is not in a bad place economically. He's going to be able to continue remaxing and recreating units, where Cuddlebear is going to struggle over the course of the next couple of minutes here if he's not able to lock down these next couple of engagements. MaxPax doesn't want to quite invest there. What does he have for vision? Does he know? Okay, he knows that that is existent.
Upgrade complete.
But he doesn't know that the bulk of the army is over on the right-hand side. Now he has an idea. He's going to see it here in just a moment. Both players playing so tactically. Can't help but notice. Nobody's going to be taking the base up in the top right, I don't think. On this particular day. Oh, does it manage to pick off some mines and a ghost for his trouble? There's going to be a point of contention here for Cuddlebear. He's going to have to defend this base location. And he is not in a great place. Oh, that's an incredibly strong disruptor blast that he took. Zealot run-by is going to be particularly dangerous up here. I don't know if Cuddlebear can afford to let that go on for very long. Another tank does go down. A couple more disruptor shots to clear up a little bit of the bio. Cuddlebear is just not able to hang on here. He is losing on both fronts. GG is called. MaxPax wins game number 2 with very convincing fashion. GG. So I feel like Cuddlebear was able to continue making a positive presence out on the map, but just had no response to the quick warp-ins at his base and the backstabs and all sorts of stuff. So I'll be curious to see in game number 3 what he decides to do to stay relevant in this game. So we'll have to see where that heads. For map number 3. Whew. It's a lot for one guy to cast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and making this a fun event for me. What I really love seeing is all of the people chatting and supporting these players. Really, really glad to see you cheering on your favorite team member. Where am I typing? We're gonna go to Everdream as our next map. Oh. Oh, that's where I was. All right, here we are, map number 3, headed into Everdream. Thank you again so much for hanging out. My name is Rushy. Hope you're enjoying the cast. If you are, let me know. You can harass me on Twitter if you want. I think all of the announcements had my Twitter on there. Tell me how terrible I am and how you never want to see my face again. It just makes me cry. Nah, I'm okay. It's called acting, friends. You ever heard of it? Oh, no, I'm a terrible human being. Chikun, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Our green Terran needs your help. Needs your energy. Playing for Team Alpha X. Give it up, Cuddlebear. Oh no. Oh no. MaxPax, what are you doing? What are you doing, MaxPax? You're spawning in the top right of Everdream. Our Red Protoss player. Playing for the Cutie Club. Give it up for MaxPax. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is not where your base is. Your base is over here. It's opening gateway. How interesting. So Cuddlebear knows to scout this. But he's going to arrive, and he's going to see gateway. But now he's got to count the pylons. There's a second gateway up over yonder. But he's going to be short a pylon in his main. So I wonder how this is gonna go. Because he's gonna lose the scouting potential here, right? Or at least he's gonna run the scout away.
Base is under attack.
Yeah, so he knows that that is there. He might actually...
Command center upgrade complete.
He might actually stumble across it. Oh, no, he won't. Rip. Cuddlebear deciding to go Marines first. Probably a smart choice. Now Cuddlebear is going to get up and see. There is just no pylon up here. So he's got to know that that pylon is out on the map. Does he have a bunker incoming? He doesn't. This could be really deadly. Yeah, this is not going to be good. Now the bunker goes down. But he has absolutely no way of making units at this point. So MaxPax is going to back this up with an Adept as well. And a Zealot. Oh, this is just horrible. And actually, I don't even think that this Hellion is going to be all that effective. I think the Marines absolutely are. He's got to keep pressure on that bunker. Cannot allow that bunker to finish. Okay, the bunker is allowed to finish. And that, I think, is going to end the aggression. At least for now. I'm going to say the natural is not going to be allowed to stop. 8 workers have gone down. That Zealot has 2 hit points in a dream. And MaxPax has done a really nice job of zoning out his opponent. Sending a Stalker back home. And just draining the supplies of Cuddlebear slowly but surely. Oh, is he just gonna dash right on by? That's bold. So what do you do? I guess, yeah. MaxPax has already got 2 Stalkers back at home, and now he's created a wall. Well, he let 2 of them in, but I don't think this is going to create the damage he needs it to create. 6 workers? I think at 6 he's still okay. 7? I think he's still fine. I mean, MaxPax is still cruising away on 2 bases worth of economy. Cuddlebear doesn't even have his second base done yet. He's actually working on it right now. It's not looking good for our green Terran. Banshee with Cloak on the way. Can't say that that surprises me. There does need to be a robotics facility, though. Warpins are going to be real deadly here. All right, so Orbital is allowed to finish. Oh, that was allowed to finish. Or that Shade was allowed to scout. Oh my gosh, it's all the way in. He pulled that all the way away. Why are you not attacking? You fool. I guess there are 3. So there are 3 Marines. Okay. So more and more Blink on the way. Observer on the way as well, smelling that Cloak Banshees could be on the menu. And where is said Banshee? Said Banshee is already at the 3rd base location. That is going to immediately, boop, gonna cloak. Observer's in a good spot, so it is able to shut that down just a little bit. Second Observer has already found that other Banshee. Oh, jeez. I was like, where did that tank fire come from? Oh, he absolutely blinked up. Oh, no. He didn't actually blink up, but I don't think it mattered. I think that still worked out okay in the end. And now Cuddlebear is actually able to work on 2 base economy. And now begins the road completion here for harassment. players still trying to make something out of this situation. Cuddlebear's trying, I mean, he's fighting to just get anything out of this. MaxPax doing a really nice job of zoning him out. Really is not super able to take a third in either direction. He does have the orbital, so it's ready. He can use it for scans, but that's about it at this point. Banshee's caught in the top right-hand corner. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. However, there are 7 worker kills. This Banshee is a hero. Can't click on it. 3 kills. Where'd the other 7 come from? Or where'd the other 4 come from? Certainly wasn't that. I have no idea. Huh. All right, continued warp-ins here. Oh, he knows that Banshee's there. He knows it's there. And that's a lot of Zealots. The Zealots are going to be able to kind of tackle this down. I think that siege tank, yeah, is just a little bit too far reserved. Warp Prism's going to be able to help out. 4th base location going down for MaxPax in the front. Meanwhile, Stimpack, Combat Shields, these Marines are still rather not very impressive. Big warp into Zealots in the backside of the base, and that's going to trigger a timing here. Out. Cuddlebear. He's going to have to engage that, which means he's going to have to pull his entire army off of the front side, where there is a large amount of forces. But good tank coverage. Good tank coverage prevents him from just automatically dying. I think the warp prism is cleaned up. So we're at the 10-minute mark, and this is going to. And the Bioforces are actually going to get squeezed in on. MaxPax not getting the engagement he was hoping for. Cuddlebear jumps ahead in army supply. He's vastly down, almost 20 workers. But if Cuddlebear can gear up for an attack, I think he could make a really strong case to take this series to a game number 4. As I said, the Stalkers can come back. I think they can win that engagement. All right, Cuddlebear on the move, taking his army advantage, although not as great as it once could have been. Does come back to the Warp Prism to try and change that away. But now it's just caught out in nowhere land. But here come some Zealots, and those Zealots are going to get, well, they were going to attempt a run by. Observer gets a chance to see everything stuck in the 3rd base. So MaxPax is now using that increased economy to expand his lead by a lot. 169 to 149 actually carries the army value lead as well. So in come the Zealots. Oh, MaxPax's army is actually on the move as well, so Cuddlebear is going to be able to get in here unhindered. Nice little run by in the main base as well. Oh, this is kind of interesting here. I'm not sure how I feel about this for Cuddlebear or for MaxPax. The robotics bay is allowed to continue working. 13 workers goes down for Cuddlebear. I think MaxPax is going to be able to come out the victor on this one. Big blink forward is going to pick off more and more of this army, and there are still zealots out running around. More and more workers getting killed. There's like one more big blink forward, and he's got most of that army put together. 170 to 116. MaxPax has taken a big step out in front, and this has just kind of been the series for Cuddlebear. Some poor engagements that just don't quite go his way, and suddenly he finds himself on a severe back foot. And this is going to be the engagement that MaxPax, just does not want to partake in. Big doom drop in the main base is going to force a recall. Is able to take care of that, and that's going to be all she wrote. GG is called, and MaxPax with a convincing 3-0 series lead takes him into our grand finals for this event. So GG to MaxPax winning 3-0 in this best of 5. He will move on to face Vindicta in the grand finals here that will get started in just a couple of minutes. We'll let the players get set. It will be a best of 7, so a slightly bigger series, so something to look forward to here. Give ourselves a chance to take a bio break and stretch our legs and be ready when we get set and go in our next series. Don't go anywhere. My name is Rushy. This is the Alpha Pro Series number 158. We will be right back right after this. Thank you. I swear, I have never had so many issues with my setup as I have today. So I did that whole ad muted. Boo. Well, we've got plenty of time. We'll talk about one of our great sponsors in between another game. But boy, howdy, I gave you great footage there if you want to superimpose me saying something over top of it. Good grief. All right, MaxPax doing MaxPax things by taking that gateway over on the north-hand side here. He is delaying significantly that second base timing. Vindicta just decided to take that into the main base here. So, also taking a bunker and putting that right up front, so making that an easy target for MaxPax to go after. Oh, the probe's actually in the main base right now. I don't think this is going to last very long. He's going to be able to get healing off. Oh, well, I mean, I thought that this was going to be pretty straightforward, but yeah, I think now the Marines had a chance to deal some damage. Should be okay. But meanwhile, Vindicta is doing some really nice probe damage on the opposite side of the map. Killing 3 probes so far. There's just nothing over here to help deal with this. Shield battery will be able to shut that down. Before workers later. That's not insignificant damage. I love the emote. Stalker gets warped in over on... Stalker must have walked across the map. Because there is definitely no gateway on Matt Pat's side of the map. Now we find ourselves just kind of transitioning into a normal part of the game. This Reaper continuing to do harassment damage. It's already up to 4 kills. Stalker and Zealots doing what they can to delay the expansion of this natural, but no longer. Natural base will be able to go down. So that's not going to stop MaxPax from trying to continue to put on pressure and delay. Yeah, Vindicta's gonna just try and push out on this. I think he's got a sizable force. Wants to see what he can get done with it moving across the map. And MaxPax actually doesn't have anything. He's got 10 army supply, and most of that's locked up in units that won't be very effective. And I think Vindicta just knows that. I think he just knows that that is the scenario he's looking at, so he's going to go try and take advantage of it. Lots of shield batteries coming down in the front as the tank does get sieged up. Oh, they're just now going to finish. One of the stalkers goes down. And suddenly, this is a very dangerous position for MaxPax to be in. The probes do need to get pulled. The tank does get lifted for a short amount of time, but now the tank is allowed to fight once more, and it does get lifted yet again. MaxPax had to sacrifice all 15 workers at his natural base to make that happen. The tank did not get damaged in any way, shape, or form. It did get moved forward, and GG is called. Vindicta takes game number 1. Made that look easy. Really exploited the timing of MaxPax's window there by just knowing he had all of his resources locked into locked into probes at that point. So good push, good read on the scenario by Vindicta, and we move over to Europe and map number 2. Folks, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to take another opportunity to do our shout out. I'm so sorry. It makes me feel so silly. But you know what I'm not sorry about? Talking about one of our official sponsors in F-Bomb. The F in F-Bomb makes portable and delicious snacks that are perfect for low carb, keto, and paleo diets. They're best known for their all-natural macadamia nut butter packets, pork sticks, and their Keto Crunch cheese crisps. If you're looking to cut carbs and eat healthier, then start dropping F-Bombs. We want to thank them for sponsoring all sorts of opportunities over here at Alpha X. So thank you very much to them as we get ready for map number 2. We're gonna go to Eternal Empire. New map, all right. I'm excited. All right. Grab Vindicta. Off we will go. Wait for both of the players to jump in. MaxPax was unable to get into the lobby here. I think I've got... Oh, nope, there it goes. Alrighty. Here we go for map number 2, headed over to Eternal Empire. Gonna see a new map in our pool here. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. I got nervous for a moment. Go ahead, folks. Let me know who you're cheering for in the chat. Maybe we have some Vindicta fans here today. Maybe we have some MaxPax fans. Maybe. I don't know how to run any of this. That's probably the case. So we're just going to jump on in. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire. It's our green Protoss player playing for the Cutie Club. Give it up for MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left, making his... Wait, what? Oh my gosh. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, sort of. Our red Terran player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Vindicta. Oh, Vindicta. Oh. Oh, he got so close. Vindicta gonna make a 2 barracks proxy here. We're gonna have to follow this probe here for a tiny bit of time. Excuse me, sorry. So, we're gonna have to check the timing. And the probe knows there's shenanigans. But does he know what to do? Just gonna go right into that cyber core. And gonna put down a pylon. Okay. Yeah, there goes the bunker right next to it. This is actually kind of an interesting build. I have to say I haven't seen this done against Protoss ever. Now MaxPax does have a probe inside of Vindicta's base, so we can see what kind of follow-up this has. But I think he just has to make sure that he can get that bunker finished. Oh, but this is looking mighty shut down. Oh, maybe. Okay, so the Zealot does go down. That is going to give this SCV a window here. And I think it's going to be allowed to finish. Yeah, so the bunker does go down. Stalker's going to come, but it's not going to be in time. I guess the shield batteries will now be the source of stability. One shield battery does get completed, but Vindicta is already abandoning his post. So the probe does cause a little bit of chaos. Now we're going to see ourselves just kind of transition into a slightly normal-ish game. Bunker does go down at Vindicta's base front, because he was afraid of this coming, and rightfully so. Oh, he does manage to pick off one of those stalkers. That's huge. That was a great pick. So now Vindicta's natural expansion is going to be able to build rather unencumbered. Barracks is going to double check and make sure that there isn't any special buildings in the back, like a dark shrine or a Twilight Council that would lead us to a quick rush of any kind. And the barracks actually, yeah, it's going to be able to get out and land. Whether or not it's going to be able to build anything, that it remains to be seen. But I'll be curious to see. Alright, so mine is going to try and get some work done. Stalkers were unable to accomplish any goal. What did he kill? He must have killed a stalker. Oh, so silly. Everything is silly all the time. Vindicta gonna move out with the aggression here, trying to take advantage. Just another timing where Vindicta has a little bit of an army lead. Now, it's not quite the same lead that he had in game number 1. But it is still sizable, especially if MaxPax has a good chunk of his army out here in the middle of the map. He's going to leave these buildings exposed, so he is going to kill the pylon. Now he's going to go for the cyber core. Well, at least I thought he was going to. Okay, going for the robotics facility. It's not a bad choice. One tank does get picked away at 3. Now another cyber core goes down, and suddenly this is starting to look really, really dangerous here for MaxPax. Stalkers are going to come in from the backside and try and slow this aggression. And it is going to stop. It's going to stop the tank from laying siege, but not before a lot of buildings get wiped out. The cyber core is going to have to be rebuilt before a robotics facility can get started again, but fortunately, one was already started. Robotics Bay was actually already in production as well, so MaxPax making the most of a hairy situation. Now the worker line is under fire. 4 workers managed to go down. And Vindicta's trying to make the most of this situation as well, trying to get himself up to his 3rd base. Another barracks is still in production, so he hasn't started production on his 3rd command center. Now he's going to use that barracks. Oh, and MaxPax is going to try and recover from this as best as he possibly can. He is still down army supply-wise, but he is putting on just enough pressure to keep Vindicta back on his side of the map. A couple of Banshees, though, are going to do really chaotic damage here, especially with Cloak as well. Trying to chrono out an Observer, as an Observer is already not available. This is exactly what Vindicta needs to do, is keep MaxPax on his toes. It's going to lose this shield battery, but he does end up losing the Banshee as well. All right. MaxPax doing his best to clean up various components of this aggression. Does pick off one of the Banshees, does kill the medevac. But now, what do you do as a Vindicta? So MaxPax has walked away with a relatively low sacrifice of worker count. Still has third base. The third command center of Vindicta is only halfway completed. And now you're looking at MaxPax, who's wanting to walk across the map with his slightly inferior army now. So Vindicta's going to try and put on more and more pressure. I think this is the right call. MaxPax is able to see all of it, so he knows that it is incoming. Should see some warp-ins here. Yep, some more zealots, some more stalkers on the way. Just needs as much as he can get. Twilight Council actually just now in production, and Thermal Lance being finished up here at the robotics facility, robotics bay. But is that going to hit timing-wise? It's not. He's got a Colossus, but he doesn't have any way to leverage the range advantage. Another 12 seconds and that will be done, and he will be able to tap into that. Mostly Marauders in this army right now. I guess there are a handful of Marines. Colossus is now able to leverage that range advantage. Third base is already on site for Vindicta, so this is, regardless, this is a great engagement. Those slow zealots, though, slowly but surely, we're going to take out those tanks, and away they went. So MaxPax does clean up the engagement. Starting to research Blink at this point. Getting an armory down for Vindicta, moving into a little bit of Liberator play. The game spins onward. Not gonna be able to do anything about that that Liberator at this point. And then there's also a drop headed on the north side as well. So that's going to force MaxPax all the way back home. He's going to leave that one zealot there to scout. But this is now going to become a dicey scenario. Solo workers do go down. This base is going to be under fire. It's going to be forced to cancel. MaxPax will lose a little bit of money for his effort. That Liberator is going to be a dirtbag and hang out over the crater, out of reach. I don't believe there is a Stargate in play for MaxPax at this point. Nope, does not appear to be. Well, he's going to get that cleaned up. So MaxPax will be able to move forward with that. I think the story of this game is Vindicta's ability to keep pressure going. MaxPax is just not able to breathe at any point in this game. Oh, and that's actually a full-on kill. That is not a cancel, so he loses all 400 minerals for that particular Nexus. That's That's a sizable chunk of change, even for MaxPax, who is leading in economic value right now. But Vindicta's 4th base is on site. It is fully saturated, and he's gonna be able to pick up that gas, the high value Vespine geyser. Both players making the move for that rich Vespine. Getting 4th base locked and loaded. Planetary already morphed in. MaxPax taking his army, starting to move it down to the lower side of the map. Doesn't have a really good angle to work with here just yet. He does have some of those disruptor shots. Does manage to pick up a ghost. That's not insignificant. More ghosts are going to be introduced. I think I've seen more ghosts in today's cast than I have in maybe the last year or two playing StarCraft. I'm excited and confused all at the same time. MaxPax trying to stay on the offensive, trying to get a little bit of a split here with his disruptors. Trying to create some space for them, and space he did. Oh, I think if he would have stayed on it, he would have been able to connect there. That was a really nice connection with one of those disruptors. Oh, MaxPax. Oh, MaxPax. Oh, catch him. Oh, he gets a giant chunk of that army while Vindicta was looking elsewhere. MaxPax is all but maxed out at this point. I was going to say, that's probably going to prompt him to start a 5th base. And big engagement here. MaxPax not quite paying attention. And he's just gonna rotate around here and start engaging from the backside, using those stalkers to spot for the Colossus against the Vikings. Yeah, we're gonna see that Zealot do a little bit of zoning work. Actually, that might be a contention point here. He's gonna want to shut that down, but I don't think he can afford to pull away the army from the front here. Planetary Fortress is in on the action as well. Tanks are continuing to lay siege. Oh, he's going to pick up a good chunk of workers here. Getting some really good value out of these disruptor shots. Stalkers continuing to cover for the Colossus here. As the 6th base or 5th base location for MaxPax is up and rolling. MaxPax is continuing to be supply capped, which is definitely worth noting. A couple of good connections with the disruptors on the tanks. Takes out 2 tanks. 3rd tank is dangerously low. But now the nukes have begun. That's a full base. That's a full base. MaxPax, so you have to pull. Okay, he's pulled. What's that gonna do? That did a lot more damage than I expected it to. Holy cow. Alright, Liberators are gonna help make this a more reasonable defense. I don't think MaxPax can jump in on this at this point. Vindicta wants his base and he wants it bad. Flexing with the kill from the disruptor on the invisible unit. Love it. Vindicta going to try and go back into his bread and butter composition of being incredibly mobile and harassing everywhere on the map all at once. MaxPax is going to dive in on top of this. Oh, he actually finds one of the Ghost Academies and is able to completely take out one of the nukes, so that's huge. The Vikings are going to be forced to land because there's not a whole lot they can do otherwise. And this is a big commitment here. A couple of those ghosts do get taken out. Able to recall out a big chunk of his army. And I don't think he got a whole lot of work done here. 5 workers to 9 SCVs. The exchange here was rather interesting. MaxPax sits up a lot higher on the worker count, but he did lose his 5th base. Where Vindicta is still kind of chugging along. Is he going to try and do that again? Ooh, MaxPax sitting with a whole bunch of workers. So actually that worker advantage is not as lucrative as it seems. A whole bunch of workers just sitting in this base. Missile is surrounded by Vindicta. Getting an EMP dropped on a chunk of that army, I think. Oh, and that's a great pushback by Vindicta here. MaxPax does not have a whole lot to fall back onto with a big chunk of those valuable army units clear. That tank has the high ground. And the other tanks are able to siege up on the other side of the high ground. This is a great push by Vindicta. No disruptor balls for MaxPax at this point. The 4th base is going to be under fire. He does have 3 now. Going to have to be judicious about how he uses them. 2 of those shots go out. They don't really connect with their intended targets, and MaxPax is struggling. He is on the back foot here. These tanks are going to continue to unsiege and push forward. Warpins are not going to be enough. They're going to kill off the pylon here as these tanks continue to pull forward. Probes get pulled off of the line, and these workers are just not going to be enough. GG is called, and Vindicta takes game number 2. I mean, that was kind of back and forth there for a little bit. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to shake out for our 2 players, but Vindicta did a nice job of holding firm, staying cool and collected, and just being patient. So, GG. GG to both players, and we're going to move on to map number 3. Now, this is a best of 7, so it's not going to be a match point. We've still got a couple of games that we can play here at bare minimum. So don't get too antsy here. But if you're feeling a little antsy and you need to click away on something, click that Matcherino code at the top of the chat. APS158 adds 50 cents for free to the prize pool for today's event. And we have had some really outstanding games. I really encourage you to check that out. Help us with those codes. Let's get our players paid and taken care of, because they've been fighting hard here for the last 3.5 hours, and we might go for yet another half hour with some great StarCraft 2 content. So check that out. Again, APS158 adds 50 cents to the prize pool for free. For free! Ah, so good. Oh. Getting real dehydrated here all of a sudden. All right, we are waiting for MaxPax to join us from Europe. It's a long flight over. I respect that. A lot of security these days. Hope all of you are being safe and healthy amidst our global pandemic. We're glad that you are exercising social distancing by staying inside, watching StarCraft 2, and just being safe and healthy people. MaxPax has requested a quick break, so we are going to be right back. We'll get everything set up and ready to go for you when you return. This is the Alpha Pro Series 158. My name is Rushy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. All right, we are back, folks. We are ready to head into game number 3, excuse me. It's currently 2-0 in favor of Vindicta. This is a best of 7, so we still have a couple more games to play. This is not match point, but MaxPax is going to need this game to be a defining game for him. He's on a little bit of a skid. He exercised some very strong play in his first series against Cuddlebear. But Vindicta is proving to be a tiny bit stronger of an opponent. So, I think it will be interesting to see where game number 3 takes us. And we better jump right on in, as it looks like it's about to get interesting. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Nightshade LE. It's our green Protoss player. Play it for the Cutie Club. Give it up for MaxPax. And spawning in the top left, our red Terran player playing for Team Alpha X. Give it up for Vindicta. Now, MaxPax is going to do more MaxPax things in game number 3. It'll be interesting to see how he wants to transition here. He's actually going to go 2 gateways. So he's doing extra MaxPaxy things. All right, so he has found it. Barracks on the back side of the base. Oh, was he trying to fake out MaxPax?
Our pylon is under attack.
I think he might be. Oh yeah, I think he is absolutely trying to fake out MaxPax here, but MaxPax is gonna find the barracks in the back corner. So now there's at least a little bit less for him to worry about. Bunker goes down at the front to help guard. Now the Reaper is going to be able to clean up probes. So that is not going to be an issue, but it's going to be the Zealot here that starts to be a pain and a nuisance. The Reaper just leaves. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced if I like that or not. Bunker tries to go down in the main base of MaxPax. Now the Zealots are going to do work on this front. I was going to say Vindicta's going to have to pull some workers here. Oh gosh, this is actually, I think this might be devastating. Because I think if that bunker's allowed to finish, that's actually an incredible damage. Okay, so uses the recall to bring the Zealots back home. So this is actually a great position for Vindicta to fight from. Was able to pull all that aggression back. A Stargate as well. MaxPax doubling down here. Taking a pylon and putting it out at the front of the ramp as well. Curious what he's gonna try and put here. Oh, I see what he's trying to do. Wanting to do Void Ray shenanigans. I think this might be too little too late. I'm not entirely sure just yet. Although, yeah, these are going to be allowed to finish. Interesting stuff here. So the first Void Ray is going to be able to come out here from MaxPax. This is going to put Vindicta in a pickle. A Fleet Beacon? Oh, he's going to pick up Flux Veins. I love it. I love it, and he's just gonna research it right in front of him. Reaper's gonna go back home and try and deal some damage, but there's just not a whole lot for that Reaper to do. Not with a shield battery in the mineral line. Tank is gonna help, and there are some Vikings. All right, so this feels a little bit held. I don't know how good it's gonna look. No, we're going to the temple. Oh my gosh, this is so. Oh my gosh, this is silly. So this is one base. This is very much all in at this point. Oh, those Vikings getting a lot of really good damage. Viking actually killing. Pushing us all the way back. The first Tempest is out, but without the Void Ray to cover for it, I'm not sure that this Tempest is going to get a whole lot done. Because what are we up to for Viking count? 4? And we've got 2 more on the way with a reactored starport. I think Vindicta's held this. I don't know if there's a whole lot that MaxPax is able to do, especially since the second base is on the way. Oh, he's got to be very careful. That one Tempest is now dangerously low. Still at 6. Okay. Pushing this further and further back here with the tank cover. Oh, that's in range. Oh, unbelievable. More and more difficult for MaxPax to deal with. Oh, he's going to be really careful. One Tempest does go down. I think the second one's going to go down as well. And with that, I think that's going to be his hopes and dreams of winning game number 3. Yeah, this is going to allow Vindicta to push all the way out. I say he lands those Vikings, goes to town. But if you kill that Fleet Beacon off, suddenly there's just not a whole lot MaxPax can do. Just so worried. Yeah, GG. Game number 3 goes to Vindicta. A very, very solid defense by our Red Terran. And suddenly we find ourselves on match point. Match point is going to be over in Europe, though. So it's going to be on MaxPax's home turf. But I think we saw MaxPax pull out just some gnarly looking cheese. Hard to see what might change going forward, but we're gonna find out in just a moment. Oh, what a great day, folks. 3.5 hours of strong casting and strong StarCraft 2 play. Lots of great matches. If you want access to the replays from these matches, make sure to subscribe or become a Patreon member for Alpha X. You can see all of our socials right above my head. Feel free to check out every one of those, whichever one you frequent the most. We'd love to have you support us beyond showing up. Obviously, we're so happy that you're able to show up and cheer on our players, and we thank you so much for doing that. But if you ever want to go that extra step and go one step further, you are more than welcome to subscribe, be our Patreon, kick in, go to Matcherino, kick in extra towards our prize pools. That means so much to us, and it means so much to our players, and allows us to bring back quality content like the Alpha Pro Series 158 that you're watching today. So thank you so much for all your help. We certainly could not do any of this without your love and support and dedication to StarCraft 2. So thank you very much as we jump into map number 4. This is match point for our Red Terran player. We're going to Everdream. Now, this is kind of a funky looking map. Not gonna lie. Definitely has some funkiness to it. And this was MaxPax's choice, so we're gonna have to see what our green Protoss has in store. His last life on the line here. He needs your energy, chat. Playing for the Cutie Club. Give it up for MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left, our Red Terran player up 3-0. One win away from being the Alpha Pro Series 158 champion. Playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Vindicta. Okay. So MaxPax playing this super safe. Vindicta doesn't know that quite yet. This is an incredibly safe opening from the likes of our green Protoss player. So we're gonna have to see if this is just intentionally good SimCity, or if this is a specific build that MaxPax has up his sleeve. It is entirely possible that our green Protoss might still have a cheesy piece of bread up his sleeve, but you know what? This is a Nexus. Had a pretty normal Nexus timing. Are we gonna play a normal game? Be still my beating heart. Well, I'm at a loss. I don't know what to talk about. Oh, it's been a while since we've seen such a calm opening out of our green Protoss, but you know, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think this might throw Vindicta a little bit off kilter, because he's going to be expecting something a little crazier than what he's normally been receiving. So he's already bunkered up. He's got a couple of bunkers. Well, not a couple. Just one. A couple of Marines in that bunker. Well. Take a look at this Twilight Council I found. So this might still be a bit of a, maybe not cheese, but a timing. Okay. So I'm at a bit of a loss here. 2 base. Oh, you get scammed. Oh, that's brutal. But I'm wondering if he's gonna see this 3rd base going down so quickly. It'll just be super, super interesting to see how this is all going to go down. Because he is pumping out tons and tons of workers. 38 to 30. He is. I think he is banking on the fact that Vindicta is expecting him to be massing units on his side of the map, when in reality, he's just hopeful that Vindicta just doesn't move out. And by the time he's caught wise, he'll have a super, super economy. It's the Zerg approach, right? Yeah, and I think Vindicta's officially caught wise here. So he's going to see the 3rd base. Yeah, and now he's just gonna go. He knows what's up. So MaxPax is gonna have to try and make the most of this. The Medivacs have Widow Mines in them. Well, that's new. That's new important information. Oh my gosh, look at all these gateways. There's 8 gates. This 8 gate's gonna slap. He's gonna slap hard. So here it comes. Big aggression here by Vindicta. I think he's got to make something work here with this particular push. Well, that is a lot of charged zealots, and they're going to push back. 17 workers and 18 workers did go down. Oh my gosh. Oh, this Liberator. Oh, that Liberator did a lot of damage here. Vindicta is going to find himself on the receiving end of some aggression, but he is up in the worker count, but he is way down in economy. And army 50 to 17. I think MaxPax has done it. I think he is going to clear up game number 4. I don't think Vindicta has enough to deal with this. GG. MaxPax. He's climbing back, boys. What a game. What a game. What a timing attack. Making Vindicta feel super, super unsafe while he just built probes. This is impressive. Very, very well thought out. Very well done. Well played by our Danish Protoss. For him. I think I got that right. Yeah. Yeah. So, 3-1. It is still match point. It's match point the rest of the way for Vindicta. He just has to win one more. And he wins. Purity. Oh, good. Just what we need. Purity in industry. Hooray. Oh, all right. Well, People wanted it. The people shall have what they want. Going to Purity and Industry for map number 5. And off we shall go. Off we shall go. Folks, as we get wound up for this game, what are you drinking right now? Well, stop, because if it isn't G Fuel, the drink of esports, it isn't worth drinking. G Fuel ramps up your energy from 0 to 100 real quick. It sharpens your focus so you can keep your eye on the prize. It increases your endurance because, as we all know, gaming is a marathon, not a sprint. And lastly, G Fuel hydrates you so that you only thirst for victory. G Fuel, the official drink of esports. Stay hydrated, my friends, and we want to thank G Fuel for giving us the energy to move our way through this next series. And I am pressing buttons, but they are not working. We are struggle bussing hard. We have figured it out. Hallelujah. Spawning at the top of the world's brightest map of all time. Actually, probably that screen too. Spawning at the top of Purity and Industry, our red Terran player playing for Alpha X. Give it up for Vindicta. And spawning in the right side of Purity and Industry, our green Protoss player playing for the Cutie Club. Give it up for MaxPax. All right. MaxPax going back into MaxPax things. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what he could do. Ugh. Oh, MaxPax. Like, don't just lose that. Close the door. I'll just walk through the hole in the wall. Wonderful. All right, so second command center going down in the main, which is smart. Engineering bay going down to block the expansion of MaxPax. Also smart, I guess. Oh. That SCV doing that with a fiery end. And so did the probe, so potato, potato, eye for an eye. Natural Nexus is in place, so that will be just fine. Both players continuing to move forward here. As we do have a Stalker that's now at the front. It's gonna start working away. It is not going to be able to clean that up. That bunker is going to be allowed to finish. So more than likely, that's not going to result in anything too major or special. We actually find ourselves in a little bit of a lull here. We will follow around the Reaper a little bit as it goes on a scouting mission to try and figure out what is happening in game number 5. Again, best of 7. Winner either moves on to the next game or cleans up today's lion's share of the prize pool. That'd be Vindicta at this point. MaxPax still has to win 3 more games if he wants to stay in this series. But he clearly showed in game number 4 that he can do it. It is not out of the realm of possibility. So Starport Banshee with Banshee Cloak is on the way for our red Terran player. We've got Stalkers here that are going to start working away. The natural expansion is going to pull that up to the high ground. Vindicta does have enough Marines here that he could probably push this away, but it's just easier pull that up to the high ground and work from there. We are going to see charge come out again from our green Protoss. It worked for him in game number 4. There's no reason for him to not try it once again. Oh, one adept is going to go down. That was a little bit of poor micro. But we might be seeing a similar transition here. It's getting to a third base. Robotics facility on the way. 2 more gateways on the way as well. But there's a Banshee. And that Banshee is going to be problematic. Especially right... Oh, and those are slow warpings. Oh, that's unfortunate. This is actually a lot of damage. 4 workers go down, and then it finally has to pull the worker line. But this Banshee now is cloaked and continue to do work. Observer is going to be out, so that is going to ultimately push that Banshee away, but there is a second coming in right behind. Scanning the main just to see if there is an observer hanging out. So, the first observer of the game. It is going to slow down MaxPax's production. The warpins of Zealots has begun. Tank on the high ground is doing a lot of the damage, and I think there's enough damage there that should be able to deal with the Zealots and Stalkers of MaxPax on the ground. This Banshee continues to go unanswered. I think it does have enough for another cloak, but that Banshee will end up getting cleaned up. Yeah, so that did get cleaned up. 5 workers have gone down for Vindicta, so MaxPax is putting on some pressure, not allowing Vindicta just to run free or be the only one that deals any significant type of damage. Stimpack is complete now, so is Combat Shield, so these Marines just got a little bit stronger. Oh, that one Marine took out a Zealot. I love it. What a beautiful scenario. What an absolutely gorgeous scenario. Zealots jump in on top of the tank. The tank is on to survive. Oh, they just cannot get on top. The force field's on the backside, and the repairs were just so clutch. But MaxPax is still sitting higher on the supply count. But it's because of workers, 46 to 37. Army supply, they are almost dead even. So that third base is continuing to wind forward more and more. I like this little tiny de facto wall from the supply depots. It does seem to be effective here. MaxPax continuing to actually double down on his worker count rather than building a greater army. 51 to 40 workers. Vindicta needs to identify this if he wants to continue his success in this game. Blink is on the way. A couple of bio forces wander out a little bit too far, try and scout for the enemy location, and only found it. Unfortunately, cost him his life. We have a warp prism on the way. 3 more gateways. MaxPax is going to try and double down on this aggression. He knows he has a little bit of a economic lead. I think he just needs to continue being aggressive here. And here comes the rub. +1 is about to finish for Vindicta, but also so is Blink. This is going to be a really interesting timing here. I heard mines. There they are. Those mines are going to create a little bit of AoE. That will help immensely. And he's actually just going to take those. Just going to take those 2 medevacs and off he goes with him. He sees that the whole army is over here, so he knows that there can't be a whole lot back at home. But it's very clear that he knows that something's going on. Nice little drop on the high ground. It does kind of force Vindicta to make some quick decisions here. The tank does go down. 5 workers gets killed. At the same time, Vindicta is over on MaxPax's side of the map, dealing a little bit of damage. Recall does bring back some of the army, but not entirely. And now that's gonna force Vindicta. He's gonna move out. He thinks he's got the advantage, and he does. 74 to 42 on army supply count. This is starting to look really, really dangerous here for our green Protoss player. He's got to have a good hold here. He doesn't have a whole lot of army to contest this. The biggest, and there the boys are pulled. Vindicta's all the way in on this. But I don't know what Vindicta's pulling boys for. I guess it's for shield buffer. They're so far behind. Those mines need to get burrowed, and they do. And they just keep rolling forward. Yeah, I think this is the choke that Vindicta's looking for. This is where he wants to be. Oh! One mine gets a really good connection on the top of the sentries, and now those sentries are out of commission. I think this is all she wrote. There just isn't enough AoE damage for MaxPax to play with here. There is a little bit of counter aggression over here, but I don't think it matters. I think all Vindicta needs to do is shut this down. He will have become today's champion. 93 to 59, 64 army supply to 19. With a majority of the forces already taken care of and inability to warp in new. I think Vindicta's done it. A valiant hold by our green Protoss. But unfortunately, just not enough. GG is called, and Vindicta is your Alpha Pro Series 158 champion today. Congratulations to all of our players. Well done. Big shout out to our Alpha X player in Vindicta, today's champion. Very, very proud of all of the players' performances today. All of our players will walk away with a portion of our prize pool, so nobody will go home empty-handed. GG all the way around. And that is going to do it for our cast today. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful journey. We do want to make sure to thank our sponsors in F-Bomb and G Fuel for all that they do to help support our organization. Make sure, check out our social media. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon. If you'd like to support us further, you're more than welcome to do so. But at bare minimum, check out our Matcherino code at the top of the chat. Make sure to use the code APS158 so you can contribute a free 50-cent contribution to our prize pool for our players. Get that done really quick so we can get them paid as quick as possible. Thank you again so much for joining me. My name is Rushy. I am a Diamond 1 Zerg player. I cast for Alpha X. You can find me over at twitch.tv/RushySC. But I spend a lot of time on Twitter, twitter.com/RushySC. Feel free to follow me, and you can check out more of my content. But until then, we hope that you'll join us for the next Alpha Pro Series 159, hosted right here on Africa TV. Thank you so much for coming. Have a good morning, evening, or night, wherever you're at. Take care.